recorded on two separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, as heard from those positions. Now, when played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
Yo, 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 what's going on, everybody? Had to fix a wire. What's up, Sandollar? What's up, VC? Almost called you Discord Bull. Dividend Bull. Mel, Aloha, good morning. Or afternoon, I should say. Andrew, what's up? Mel, Garden Trader. Dividend, what's up? What is going on? Discord Bull. What's up, Discord Bull? What was there? You had it open in Discord as well? Oh, the stream. I was like, what do you mean echo? I see what you mean now. Yeah, that's probably really confusing hearing two of me. Wait, one is enough. One is enough. One is more than enough. But as you guys can see from the stream, today we have... Come on. Today we have Microsoft. Where's Meta? Oh, here she is. Microsoft, Meta, and StarBuX earnings. But StarBuX I don't really care about as much. It's not really a market weight, but it's still something important, and they are on a pretty nice recovery, so be nice to see if they're going to keep holding it or if this is just another gap down waiting to happen. But that won't have much effect on the market. What will is Meta and Microsoft. These will both have a pretty nice hit against the market, whether it's up or down. You can see they've already kind of both started their little party, but we'll see if we get any more directional movement. You can see Meta is right under all-time high. You can see Microsoft's not right under it, but they are near their kind of retest spot, right? After they broke down their lower high, came back down, or their all-time high, made a lower high, came down. This is where they had their biggest rejection so far. So we're going to be trying to push towards that with their earnings, but we'll see. So it really depends on these two charts where we open up tomorrow on SPY, but overall, those are going to be pretty important. Pretty awkward chart here too. Ever since we hit this all-time high and pulled back, it's been very awkward days. But again, all of you should be well aware of this. We've been going over this for over a week now, saying again, earnings can make things a little bit annoying. It's not really your fault, but what is your fault is if you overtrade, right? It's not really your fault if you're caught overtrade. Or it's not really the market's fault if you're caught overtrading, right? It's kind of on you. Yo, thank you, Sandollar, for the $4 donation. I appreciate that, man. You should actually see this new coffee machine we got. Every time I click it, I'm like, man, Sandollar would be proud. It's not a Keurig. It's like one of those really nice ones at like a hotel. You like pop this little cap in there, and then it like, it's crazy. It tastes 100 times better than a Keurig. It's so damn good. But every time I pop one of those caps, I'm like, damn, Sandollar, if he saw me now. It's pretty good too. Like, it tastes like real coffee. It doesn't taste like watered down whatever. I don't even really like coffee like that either, but when you had a cup from this, it was like, whoa. Whoa, why was that like insanely good? Stop, Faith. Oh, my bad. I was supposed to be in Discord stream as well. If anybody would like the Discord stream, it is up now instead of the YouTube. I know some people prefer that because there's no music and the sound is like pretty much up to the second. There's not as much latency lagging between YouTube stream and Discord. Alright, I want to take this time, instead of just staring at SPY, pull back from this supply that's pretty inevitable. Instead of doing that, I want to look at results and review and post charts today. At least for a little bit. So I'm going to go look at that now. I'm going to start with post charts. Then we'll go to results and review, because I can get a before feeling and then kind of like an after feeling. Damn, you were up early. Triple Qs are trading just below 501.35, previous day high. And you know another cool thing she does too, like that I don't see anyone do. I don't even do this. Is like every time she'll label like what that level is, right? I think sometimes when I just label like, oh, 501.35, that's important. Like I think some people hear that and they're like, oh, it's just a level. But when you say the level and then you say what the level is, then it gives it a little bit more, you know, effect to it. Makes you kind of remember a little bit more, a little more importance. It has now become a main character, so very important. And also kind of throwing these cute little emojis up just to kind of tell everybody what you're about to read is definitely a certain direction. So what she's about to really read is probably bearish. What you're about to read is probably bullish. So just like that too. It's small, subtle, but it's very helpful. And you might not think it helps you, but it probably does. We have all-time high supply just above us, so watch for signs of a rejection. You don't have to name it the Daffy Seller Zone. I'm honestly, I don't really know what to think about this, guys, and I'm not getting on to you or Daffy or myself, but I don't know if I like you guys having 50 different zones methods. It's a little insane. And this is why I invented this method, is because you can use this on any time frame. It doesn't, you see me draw it on the 5 and the daily, you can draw it on whatever time frame you want. But can we please stop having 50 different zones methods? Holy shit. It's getting fucking insane. You guys are labeling something different every day. It's fucking annoying. Like, do we not have enough labels as it is? Jesus Christ. See, this is a good post. This is what I want to see. An extra post on top of it, just to kind of be like, yeah, I have the same thing, and there's this, you know. Don't just be like, Yeah, nice. Like, nah, like he went to this post here. He went to this post, posted his own visual. It doesn't even matter if they're the same, doesn't matter if they're off by a little bit, doesn't matter if they're exactly to the cent the same. It doesn't matter. They have a similar look, right? And then instead of just saying, yeah, nice, or, oh, I have the same thing, like, I actually sat here and broke down extra stuff, too. Even if it was already talked about to a further extent, it doesn't matter. Covering it again kind of reinforces it now. And who is this? Andrew's head. Oh, hey, I know this. Oh, hey, this is that. Oh, that's this. So, like, able to remember it without even probably even having to check this channel again. Y'all probably remembered most of y'all's plans throughout the day. And if not, it's always helpful to come back and help, too. And just reread it. But good stuff. I like that too, Andrew. Kind of like a follow-up, helpful message. Andrew's right. Andrew's right. And this is honestly how I do my zones. I do this too. I pretty much leave them there until they're broken. And then if they're underneath, it's probably a demand, not a supply. Sorry, I keep trying to say seller and supply at the same time. Wait, why am I supplying demands? Like, I really hope you guys aren't confused now. Like, dear God, please tell me that's not the case. Like, I'm sorry, but this is the easiest thing in my entire system. If you're having a struggle with this, then you have issues. This is actually insane. In these videos, I literally go over exactly how to draw supply and demand. And these are well over a year ago. This one's 2 years ago, right? Actual rules, not just saying draw this, draw that. And I allow anybody to be free with it. Have whatever time frame you want. You know, if you guys want to use it on the 4 hour, by all means, have at it. You want to use it on the weekly, by all means, have at it. You want to use it on the monthly, the yearly, I don't know how effective that's going to be, but by all means, yours, take it. Right? So can we please start having this, like, this chaotic, random, like, confusion of what supply and demand is every other week? Can we please stop having that? Does anybody here have any confusion before I move on? Like, where to look, what to look at, how to draw a zone? And in all honesty, it's pretty crazy, too, because there's a video in here. Yeah, right here. How to chart supply and demand areas from previous day in less than 5 minutes. You can use this method right here on any time frame, right? And it's pretty crazy. Even in this video that's from July 13th of 2023, we're like a year and a half away. It's still using the same rules. High of the candle, open of the last green candle before reversal, back down, right? Where's my demand? Do I draw it? Oh, there it is. Low of the move at the top of the last red candle before the reversal back up. Like, it's the same rules every single time. Can we please stop having like 50 different... It's fucking annoying is honestly what it is. Because then you guys come to me in DMs and you're like, yo man, I'm struggling with this and that. And then I'm like, why are you looking at zones like this? Who taught you this? And then you guys are like, well, I just learned it last week. What? I've been going over zones for 2 years. You just learned this last week. Like, supply and demand, guys. Let's just call it that. Why are we confusing ourselves? And some of you probably just think I'm bitching, but honestly, you don't understand the DMs I get. It's fucking insane. I don't even care if I sound like I'm raging right now. Like, I am raging. Like, it's depressing to me to get on here and people are still on the same topic. Like, Jesus Christ. Maybe you do need to go to another Discord. It's fucking annoying. Why do I even want to be here if people are gonna act like that? I'll just go fucking do something else. Fuck. I don't make money being here. Like, let's be honest. I don't make money as a Discord owner. So why am I here? Because I like to be here. Because I like to be passionate. I like to see people grow. What is that going to do to my motivation if everybody's still on the same fucking step? Everybody's on the same subject still. We're still confused about the same problems. It's insane. Like, it actually is insane. That's the definition of insane. You're attacking the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. You're not doing anything different. You're expecting different results. It's actually crazy. How many of you still don't have a trade log? I would love to see the 99% of you that still don't have a trade log. I'm not talking about some bullshit results and review channel. I'm talking about an actual trade log. 99% of you do not have that. And that right there is depressing. That already shows you don't give a shit. Oh, but I'm really good at 40% entries. Let me keep taking them, Bueller. All right, show me. Show me that you're good at 40% entries. Where's your trade log? Oh, I haven't really been... the way my tracking works. It's like, okay. So you don't care. No, I'm done with the positive energy. If you want to be here, you're going to work your ass off. You don't want to be here, get the hell out. I'm tired of this confusion and this laziness and this unmotivation attitude by most of you in here. It's fucking insane. No, it's not you, and I'm talking about everybody as a whole. It's crazy. Everybody wants to go to my DMs. Everybody wants to freak out, but everybody wants to look cool in chat. Why don't we bring that energy to chat? Why don't we bring all of that to chat? Go to chat. Y'all act like there's like 600 people there watching you. Like, there's literally not. We have a very inactive chat right now. Let's be fucking honest. So, like, what are we all scared of? What are we scared of posting for? We're not. You're not. You don't know what to post. There's a difference between being scared and not knowing what you're going to post. And that there is a problem. It's very sad. No, I'm not getting onto you, Daffy. Please, dear God, do not take it that way. I am not getting onto the zones. It's the concept. It's the concept. We're going over the same thing 60 times. It's confusing people. We're not breaking things down to a further extent. We're just confusing people. And then they go do it on their chart. And they're like, what the fuck? How do I trade off of this? I literally see a midterm retest here. I saw Mel post about it in chat. And it amazes me how someone would be like, well, that's not a good... That's a little risky, man. We're coming off the highs just now. It's like, what? It's like you just joined chat. By the way, Mel, that was a good post. I liked your example that you used because it was like perfect timing. I get on Discord, you're like, or you're like downside, and then I get on and I see it breaking the support. I'm like, oh, that is perfect timing. Mel's on it. No, I know, Daffy, I know. It gets me. It's like, Jesus. I just want people to learn and grow, dude. And it's kind of impossible if everyone's stuck on the smallest of bullshit. Also, everyone's attitudes, like, it's crazy to me. I know I don't have the greatest of attitudes. But holy crap. Somebody will lose one trade after working 4 weeks, right? Yo, they work their ass off 4 weeks in a row to get a good trade off. They get one finally, right? They get it, great. But then they just break down after that. Like, they go take one minor mistake or they lose a trade. It's like, GG, it's over. Give up. It just doesn't make any sense. How do you think that makes someone feel like me? How do you think that makes me feel? Now, imagine someone doing that 50 times over. There's more than 50 people who have done that. Like, imagine that. Like, that right there fucking shoots it down for me. So when someone shows just the most smallest amount of disrespect... This stream says no data. Restart your stream shortly. And then it flickers on my screen and says excellent connection. YouTube streams are still crap. Oh, you're good, Mel. You're rusty, but you still got it in you. Like, also, another thing in chat that kind of gets on my nerves. That I think is crazy, because there's people that'll go in chat and be like, damn, there's never plays in here. Or they're like, all I do is lose money in here. That's fucking crazy for me to hear, because if you go into chat, and it's a little disrespectful to say that, because Daffy will literally post free trades in here, and they're not bullshit trades, right? A lot of the, like, I'd say like 80% of the time his trades have worked out, and 100% of the time they're not expensive. He's not yet posted a trade that's, you know, super expensive. You know, I don't think anybody should be having a problem getting into his play. That's fine. That's fine. You don't want to follow someone's play. But dear God, go back test it. Go review. Why is he in it? Why does he like it? You were in here to learn, are you not? Then go back test and see, why does he like it? That right there, like, that shows you don't give a shit. Go review his trade. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's a little disrespectful to even think about that. Noxta too, like, Noxta has done such a great job posting so many things in here. The different guys in here too. You got to post charts. Who's always in there? Garden Trader. So shouldn't you guys be reviewing some of those and seeing how close you are to them or how far off of them you are? Instead of posting your own and trying to act like you know what you're talking about. Huge difference there. So again, not really attacking anybody individually in here, but y'all need to change y'all's attitude. No trading log? Guess what? You're not a real trader. You haven't been trading. What is the whole point of trading and growing? To track your progress, so you could backtest it, review what needs to be fixed, work on it, move forward with those impending changes. Do they need to be the biggest, most, you know, widest changes ever? No. I mean, sometimes it's just, oh, I'm going to start doing this 5% less. I'm going to start doing this, or I'm going to adjust my level here more. Or I'm going to start marking these this way, or, you know, just whatever little tiny minor change you might make. Make it, don't change it, move on. Yeah, it's very rare anyone responds to any plays posted. It's fucking insane. And then those same people will go in there and be like, yo, can you tell me if this chart looks okay? I'm not here to stare at your charts. I'm not here to do all that, bro. Why don't you go back test Daffy's? He's literally been working his ass off. Why don't you go look at that? Then you can take time to make your own chart. How about that? Why don't we find what we're looking for first and then go look for it, instead of going to look for it and then asking tiny questions in between? It's like, if you try to solve a murder mystery that way, you're never catching the guy. Ever. In any crime scenario ever, you're never catching the guy. That's just facts. You're just not getting to it. It's just crazy to me. D-Touch too, he posts so many plays that I wish I was personally a part of too, but there's so many plays that are just overlooked. And I think people see them and they're like, oh, he's just calling out to look cool. We're not like other Discords. Like, if someone's calling out my chat, they are confident in that trade, or they're confident in that ticker. And if you see them post what they're going to do if they're wrong, you should probably not ignore that either. Because guess what? They're not just buying in hopes of never being wrong. They're buying and also understanding, oh, I could also be wrong. This is my parameter if I am wrong. This is my condition if I am wrong. I'm going to get out, or I'm going to do this if this happens. Some people in our chat have down 35% on their contract, down blah, blah, blah. It broke this level. That was my condition. You know, everybody's a little different, but it's all the same shit, though. It's all conditioned. It's all conditional. It's all parameter. It's all set before it happened. And some people are going to be like, oh, Billy's just bitching again. Like, no, dude. Maybe I am, but I am right. The laziness needs to stop. The easy confusion needs to stop. Like, if someone in chat has a different level than you, it's not the end of the world. It's really not. What is important though? You should both be having previous day high. You should both have probably today's open. Again, current day open being the most important intraday level every day. And you'll see these same people that like complain or lose trades over and over or end up quitting. They're the same people who aren't marking these basic ass levels. Like, these aren't intelligent levels. These aren't like levels that only the smartest of the smart can find. Like, any jackass can see these levels, but only you guys will understand the importance behind them, because guess what? We're the only ones going over them like this. We're the only ones using them in our system, right? So that's why we probably have a different view than most people on how a current day open is supposed to be traded. Vice versa on other levels. So let's quit getting hung up on these small little topics every other day. Let's just work on making sense, posting good results, and really just, yeah, that's it. Trying to make sense. I mean, that'd be a really good start. Trying to make sense in more of your postings. How it started though. Jesus. I don't think I saw anybody in chat, by the way, lose because of earnings this week. I was just making sure you guys didn't lose to earnings. I don't think anybody did that. And if they did take an earnings trade, I would like to think that they knew it was a lotto. I would like to think that. Alright, one more channel to look at. I want to look at results and review. Let's see how many of you are taking this serious today. Ah, this is what I like to see. I'm scrolling a few times. Thank you. Because I know for a fact not everybody posted yesterday. There were so many of you that traded yesterday and then didn't post. It was crazy. But today it looks like y'all aren't bullshitting. I'm actually getting a couple scrolls in on this one. In because we lost pre-market low. Bam. Alright, have that in your head now. More importantly, after Triple Q became an outside bar yesterday, it went back under the selling zone marked in gray, and I called to the group to grab puts on Triple Q. First watch the previous day control point. Why is he worried about this, guys? Can someone tell me why? Why is this now suddenly a huge level that needs to be watched all of a sudden? Why is he expecting this to be somewhat important? Is it because a previous large move was made? What in this tells us that? Ding 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 ding. No, you cannot answer your own question. He's got a notable day. We should probably mark something on it. Then he placed the golden pocket fib with it. Get really close to. Closed out for about 70%, 70 to 80%. Let's see. So seeing we had such a large day yesterday, dropping. Pulling back up. Huge pull up, by the way. Huge pull up. You can see here they drop back outside of where they were supposed to hold for bulls, is essentially what we're looking at here. If they had held here, if they had held here, built higher lows, this chart could be a completely different story. They didn't though. They broke under everything. So what does this scream to Andrew? Selling pressure is pretty strong early on. Is it risky? Hell yeah, it's risky. It's the first 5, 10, 20 minutes of the day. But it has reasoning. It's not like he's just trying to guess inside of a range or he's trying to buy the top of the chart. Like, no, he sees selling pressure breaking. So what does he do? Knowing yesterday was a huge day, grab the low, grab the high. What's the halfway point of it? You know, and then just understanding that's a natural spot for price to work towards. Great job, Andrew. Is it going to work towards that level every single time? No. Is it going to work past it? Sometimes, yeah. Look at this example. So it's not always perfectly going to touch it. But just understand that's a natural spot. Like, you guys understand when we buy the dip trade and you have a high, or sorry, you have a low, then you have your higher low pop up on some lows, and let's say we've had a dip from open that day. Most of the time, the open is where it's trying to go. It's trying to just balance itself back out on the day. A lot of you are already aware of this. That's the same thing we're seeing here on the OB. right? Huge days already happening. Okay, well, if we're gonna pull back at all, it probably wants to hit the halfway point of that big day. Most likely, it's just a natural. It's like natural law, not really, but first trade of the week. Also, huge flex, huge flex. It's literally Wednesday, and he's just now taking his first trade, and this is honestly a huge sign of true craftsmanship. Like, you could tell he's been working his ass off. You could tell he's seasoned a little bit because, like, you know, most traders this week, they've already traded once. it's Wednesday. They've already traded a couple times. D-Touch, though, setting up the good example for all of us to follow. You know, again, knowing that it's earnings, knowing that it's election, knowing that there's just a lot of crap happening soon. Trading is going to be a little bit more difficult. Ranging is a little bit more possible. These wick days that we keep getting where we don't feel like the day's highs or lows are too strong, or just bounces or rips, you know, it's because of this. But good job, D-Touch, kind of restricting yourself. He said daily looked good for continuation. Position was down 10% at closing. Opened at... Oh, because it was a swing. I was like, wait, how did he do that? Oh, okay, so cool. He's actually just showing off, hey, this is actually what I did. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't care if you look cool. You shouldn't either. Come in here and post everything you're doing. Did you win? Did you lose? Post theoretical trades that you didn't take. I don't care. Post something. Be active. It's not for the chat. It's not for D-Touch. It's not for Tobias. It's not for Linwood. It's for you. It's for you. So you can post. You can go back. You can look. You can track yourself. You don't want to have a trade log? Cool. Come in here and at least by the very least do this. And same thing goes for post charts channel. Like, if you guys are going to trade something, I think it kind of goes without saying that you should have something posted already that talks about what you're looking at, or breaks down what you're attempting to look at or how you see it, you know? I don't think it's fair for anybody in this chat to go take a trade and it not have been talked about already. Like, because that would mean you're literally just guessing on setups. That would mean you're just going out there and pickpocketing setups that you think are going to work. You don't actually have any preparation built behind it. There's no infrastructure for that setup. Okay, VC, you're just trying to piss me off now. Confidence. I am buying this. Good shit, Tobias. Paper trade, scalp, small percentage. And this is like another great example right here. Like, this is like why another reason too that I just don't understand how people could like be so lazy, right? Here's Linwood. He's on his phone, and he still took time to type out this much, even though he's probably busy as hell right now, right? And took time to put notes on his chart just so he could kind of, not just for chat, but for himself, right? Oh, he knows he missed the retest. Awesome. Here's like a breakout, so it's a little bit more than just a 40% entry. It's a very confident 40% entry. Oh, here's my next level. That's my target. Or, you know, just small notes like that. That stuff is so helpful. You might think it's like pretty tedious right now, but down the road as you're breaking things down, you're going to be happy you did. Because most people who don't, you know, those are the people who take trades, and then there's like small stuff within their trades that you pick apart, and you're like, hey, this is wrong. Hey, this is wrong. Hey, this is right. Hey, this is right. You know, it's just like, it doesn't feel right. But someone who goes over these small details, these small subtle, you might not care about as much details over time, that person ever takes a loss or gets hit, they fall back, they're not going back to square one. They're not going back to where they first started, like the other example, right? Because they've actually gone over these details. They understand what was wrong. You're able to say that it was right or wrong, instead of just sitting there saying, hey, was this right or wrong? You shouldn't be questioning it. You should know. If you're trading the system, you should know what was right and what was wrong. You should be able to basically backtest yourself. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even have this level marked. That's on me. Oh, I just honestly had that level out of my mind. I didn't even care about it. I didn't think it was important, so I didn't even think about it. You know, just stuff like that. Like, it's being able to understand what was wrong and right in the moment, not afterwards. This isn't a system where you take a trade, you lost, and you don't know why. No, if you lost a trade with a setup, like, you should understand exactly what went wrong. And if not, then there's an issue there. I'm deleting your comment, VC, honestly. I think anybody who uses the term fair value gap has brain damage. Especially people who are from my chat, because we've already gone over fair value gaps. We just didn't call them fair value gaps. So in those people's heads, and this is actually kind of, I guess, what I am attacking a little bit. Those people will be like, oh, I've never heard you gone over fair value gaps. Okay. Okay. We'll take that one on the chin. We'd never gone over them. Like I said, we've never gone over them and said that's the name of the term. Like, that's what you should call them. But if you're someone who's been in my group and you've gone over the TA routine, you understand all the fibs we do, the levels we do, where we get our information from is what I'm trying to say. If you understand where we're getting that from, you're already drawing most of the fair value gaps on every chart. So you don't even need to worry about this stupid term that randomly surfaced at 2023. So, no, if you use fair value gaps, good on you. I have nothing against them. What I have against people who use fair value gaps are people who are from my chat, ditch our chat, go learn all these new terms, and then try to tell me like they know what they're talking about when they don't. Like, those are the people I would be more depressed with. If you use fair value gaps, you use price action, more power to you. But that term is so brain dead. Don't do this at home, worst trade of my life. But we made 50 cents after risking 180. Bought a call order like an idiot. 70% loss. And instead of cutting, well, I guess you were probably just like, fuck it, I don't care at that point. And then it went back up and you're out break even. That's funny. Look how much, this is a good backtesting chart though, Tobias. This is a good example of how a contract works. People think that if price goes back up to here, that their contract should be up. Isn't that crazy to you? I mean, you and me might have thought that in the beginning of when we traded too. Like, oh, if I bought a call here, yeah, I'd be down here, but I should be up here, right? Because it's above where I bought. I'm like, oh, okay, because that's the only thing that options contracts care about. Like, no, bro. There's implied volatility. There's a lot more going on here. Sorry, I have just heard that term. No, I think you were trying to piss me off. Entered because 3-bar play on the 5-minute, then made a piercing line with the possible 3-bar play, then the push up to pre-market high, which was my target because a little whisper in my head said it's a scalper's day. I'm glad that little whisper was there. Damn, that was a good whisper. Bro had Jiminy Cricket on his shoulder. Also, I feel like because this is your only like information here, it's kind of like, in my opinion, like this is how I like to tell myself. I'd be like, it'd be stupid if I held past this. Because you just bought a trade that had to break a high, right? So it going into your only available displayed information right here on this 1 minute, it would be not fair to you or your trade if you don't at least trim here. I'm not saying full on take profit here, but to at least trim at the only other area you have visually here. No, that's beautiful. Look how fancy Andrew's getting with his trade reviews now. Alright, overall pretty good trade reviews. I don't think I saw any red flags. And I already knew I was going to see good posts in the post charts channel. What's up, Carter? Huge pullback from the recent highs, kind of expected after they failed back under that zone. Today's kind of boundaries were really these two here. Today and yesterday. I haven't really changed much on our charts. I've maybe cleaned up some of the levels, but not much. Yeah, we're still kind of just stuck in this area. Might be able to delete this going into... what's it called? Going into tomorrow. But I'm probably just going to leave it because, again, we have earnings on even bigger companies tomorrow. So today and tomorrow are kind of the brunt of the hit. I'm going to be very glad to stop saying earnings after today and tomorrow. For the most part, there'll still be other ones, but for the most part, that'll be annoying. Good job, Mel. Break of structure may bounce at 581.26. Very possible. And that's the level of thinking you should have, VC. Like, when this breaks down, what are the two areas you should understand are possible to test? One of them is marked, one of them is not. Below, of course, because this is where price pushed up, caught on before moving back up. And then the next level, 581.30, which you guys should be way aware of this level. This has been on the chart for a few days now. And I've honestly annoyingly been saying 581.30 over and over and over again because it's just been so repeatedly hit. It's not really my fault, but it has been annoying to say because we have been saying it so much. But it's just, it again reminds us it's very important. So if it's annoying, it's good. Apple helping pull SPY down. Good call out by Mikey. He already called this out earlier too, pointing out exactly what weight was hurting the market the most. He searched through them all, and he found the most damaging one, Apple. And without even looking, you guys honestly should be able to see that. Here, starting from Netflix all the way up, you can see there's only a few red tickers. There's really not that many, right? And the only two that are actually down are Apple and SMCI. SMCI doesn't weigh that much. Apple does weigh a lot. So this does kind of drip down over to this, right? And the only reason we were able to hold up that long is because of all the other market weights. So as market weights start to reach highs, slow down, and Apple's still pulling back, that is of course going to have an effect on SPY directionally. Does that make sense, everybody? Good call out, Mike. Good job finding that. I love when I see you guys go do that because you can tell somebody's really working at finding everything. Because, I mean, it's the market weights. It's how it works. It's only math. It's only science, as they would say. I love when I see people in chat call that out because that's actual grunt work. I like when I see people do that because you know for a fact they just went through the top like at least 6, 7, 8 weights just to try to figure out what's moving the most out of those. It's just good having a reason on why something's going up or down. I didn't even notice 581.30 was today's open basically. I saw yesterday we had started well under it, and when we moved up, it wasn't surprising that was where we went. But this is kind of where we were trading too before that 2 days prior. Of course, this is Monday, this is Tuesday, this is Wednesday. So you can see this week hasn't really gone anywhere. We're just hitting the highs, pulling back, hitting the lows, pulling up. This is what I'd call ideal earnings price action, or upcoming earnings price action, I should say. And yeah, through CDO, through the 580-130 area. Now, I don't know what I'd tell you. I'd say, yeah, 580.50 is a target, but if you're still holding, you're amazing. Good breakdown too. I saw a couple people post this in chat. I posted it, but I posted it only to reinforce Mel's trade that he posted on the trade floor. So I don't want to take any credit away from him. Good job, Mel, on your post in the trade floor. He was one of the few people I saw talk about potential pullback after we lost that supply, which should be your level of thinking on an earnings week. We shouldn't really be looking to find levels outside of areas. You know, if we're in an area and we're bouncing between it, that's probably what's going to happen until the week's over, unless we get a sizable move because of earnings, and that of course changes things. I would say a sizable move from earnings on this chart going into tomorrow would be a bad thing, because that would ruin a lot of expectations for people going into the next, you know, barrier of earnings, I should say, because it is like a barrier. All right, glad it makes sense to you, not Daffy, Sandollar. Glad it makes sense to you. Fair say, don't be greedy, all out. No, good stuff. I'm glad you're not being greedy. Over 200%. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you see that, you shouldn't be thinking to yourself, how can I squeeze out just a little bit more? And if you are asking yourself that, that is a problem. You should be very happy with that pullback. You just caught one of the larger moves in the day. Is this going to happen every day? No. Is this going to happen every time we have expected earnings? No. Most of the time, sure, maybe. But not every time. Previous day control point. Good call out. That's probably where I have that level from. Yeah, it is. I just left it there. Previous day control point popping up. Good job, Andrew. See, these are good posts. These are good. This is information someone can bite off of. It isn't just, you're not biased. You're not trying to scare anybody. You're not trying to do anything like that. We're just going over basics. And look how clean your chart is too. I don't see a clusterfuck. Excuse my language, but that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, it doesn't look chaotic, right? Like, I can clearly see where I should be bearish and bullish from on your chart. Good job, Andrew. You and Garden have some of the cleanest intraday charts. Some of the cleanest. Sheesh, shorting through market high was on point today. LFG scalped a little short. Good job, Mike. Round of applause for Mike, also known as the Eagle Eye in Discord, because he physically stole an eagle's eye. Which, again, even if you did that, I don't know if that'd scare me. I would think that requires a lot of skill. Like, how did he get the bird to sit still? How did he take the eye without losing his own eye? It is still dropping. They're really close to 580.50. This candle flipped back red after it was trying to doji again. I think what you guys are seeing are just a natural balance in price. It doesn't want to be too high in the range. It doesn't want to be too low in the range going into the end of the day. So fair enough. I could see why some of you probably would not have caught anything in the first 20 minutes of the day. I definitely don't blame that. But I did find it interesting that today and yesterday were almost the exact same thing. Regardless of gapping down or continuing down at the beginning of the day, it doesn't matter. They both dropped, right? Both got a drop. And then within 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes, almost 20, but 25 minutes, they got back over current day open. And within, after that, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, like an hour and 20 minutes a retest. So pretty good. So 20 or 25, hour and 20. Today, 5, 10, 15, 20, in the same amount of time. They got back over today's open again. And I would almost bet almost the same amount of time they had a retest again. Now this one's definitely not as clean as this one. I will not argue that. But just interesting. Going into a week that we feel like we're going to get a lot of repeated chaos, really is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of funny, we get an actually repeated day. It's like the same exact day, back to back. Now this one's definitely falling a lot more than the end of this one did too, but I mean, the grand scheme of things, it's literally doing the same thing. A lot earlier maybe, but just interesting. Username said, I mean, it did give a retest though. It gave 2 retests actually before it fell. And yeah, for anybody waiting for me to post more swings, kind of just waiting till earnings, really. Sorry. I know that that's not a answer you wanted to hear. But it's the truth. That's what I'm waiting on. So if you're waiting on that next stream swing, you'll probably get one Friday. And if not Friday, probably have one early next week. So if you guys are wanting a swing, that is when my next swing will most likely be on stream. Yes, Mike, that was the correct time to use that term. Because it didn't just fall. And this didn't just go from nowhere, right? It broke something, then it retested, right? And then at this point, if someone said retest, guess what? I wouldn't have lost my mind. Because that would have been the correct time to use that term. It's already done the retest. At this point, it would just be more retesting. You could get a retest under current day open. You could even get a cute little retest under this area here that none of us have marked because this is not a traditional level. But all of us need to keep our eye on that. Because if they are going to go test something, it's going to be here or where they fell from. The latest dip. You also have current day open. So we got a lot of very important areas here now that this could go up to and hit. Maybe retake, maybe reject. We don't know. We're in the last 2 hours and 17 minutes of the day. Make sure to drop a like on today's stream. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it. Started out at the gate hot. Looks a little, dare I say, Lee-testy. But that makes sense though. You guys understand that, right? Like it's already done the Lee test. We're not looking for a Lee test. I mean, you can look for another retest if you want, but the lead test has already happened. We already understand that. No one's lost. 6 miles behind right now. Yo, good job, Jay. I don't even know if he's in here or not, but he just basically broke down what we were saying. He said, lots of levels around here. Yesterday, CP, PML, daily 9 EMA. Like, he's just calling out how many levels are in this area. Good call out, Dr. J. See, that's what I like to read. Information. You're good, Doctor. I'm reading both channels. I'm reading Discord and YouTube at the same time. Since we have so many trolls in here who just love to see if they can get a rise out of me. While I laugh at the fact they can't get a single term right. I mean, that's like teaching someone the alphabet and then them just like getting it wrong. And then they're like, oh, I was just kidding. It's like, no, you don't know the alphabet. That's sad. That's sad. Like, that's depressing. That's what it feels like. Like, we're not going over anything complex here. I've never once acted like what we go over here takes, you know, some intelligent mind. It might take a little time, sure, but it shouldn't take 2 years of doing the same thing over and over again. And honestly, props to you guys if you're one of the few in here who haven't really been bouncing around all these popular strategies. I know it's pretty hard to like not jump into those because you see it and you're like, oh wow, this could be so easy. But props to you if you're someone who hasn't bounced around. Because I really believe the not bouncing around is what creates a stronger trader. I don't think it's the needing of finding a better strategy and it's funny too because like I think the same energy that people apply to learning a new strategy could have been applied to making one they already use more efficient, right? Or back testing it more and seeing how they could be more efficient with it. You know, it's again, it goes back to that lazy energy of just like, I don't want to try, I just want to get lucky and fall into the groove. You know, like they don't want to make their groove and then fit in it. And yeah, 580.50, low of day. Those are the only two barriers in the way now. Good call by Mike. We'll see if we get a little bit of buying here after finally getting a buyer candle. I mean, I'm saying buyer candle. I'm really only saying that because it's green and it had a little bit of a lower open. They retook more than 50% of its previous candle, so kind of expecting this next candle to go smack 580.126. Or just awkwardly sit here as an inside bar and we range a little bit and then get more direction. One of the two. IWM. Damn, they did good today. I was a little worried about them after yesterday, but today that actually didn't look too bad. God, that is a beautiful, beautiful setup. Kind of sucks how they treated the PDCP first, 30 minutes a day, because that's just a lot of price action. That's just drop, rise. Yeah, it's not much you could take away from that. But this up here, how they treated this is like your 580-130s area. They actually ended up hitting the level, came back down, held it. So even if it didn't move on, at least it gave a little bit of confidence to people who were looking at the longs. And then vice versa, it gave people confidence for the shorts when it broke the levels back down again. Broke, retested, dropped. Not much more you could ask for there. Andrew, you said you're guilty. You're not guilty, the jury's not out yet. Oh baby, we coming up to today's midpoint. Good stuff. And yeah, I know on SPX and SPL this will be a little different. I'm pretty sure it's that level I have there, right? Oh, whoops. I'm not grabbing the right day. I am stupid. There we go. Yeah, okay. I think that's why I didn't draw it. I think it's the same reason as yesterday. I think I had a level that was like literally within 10 cents. It's like, alright, I might as well just leave that level. So I think that's why you guys are seeing me say PDCP around this. I just wanted to make that clear. Because I don't want someone in here being like, oh, great, my levels are wrong. Like, no, your levels are fine. I think mine's wrong by 15 cents, 14, 13 cents. But that is why. I think I just was like, you know what? I don't need to cluster this area. Nice, though. We've already seen this once. Well, really twice. Third time? Are we seeing it a fourth time? Are we seeing 580.50 hold up again? And almost every single time they hold 580.50, they do end up breaking 580.130. just from our recent context. Again, looking at the past few days, counting the couple of times that it happened, and that's it. Not really any deeper thinking beyond that. And there they are, smacking 580, 130. Let's see if they can actually retake it like we've been seeing this week. Pretty nice show of hands by buyers after such a, what could have been felt as a scary drop. But again, it's really just rebalancing things. If you see the chart here, it's really just dropped us back into the middle of the range. Almost perfectly. I did see your knife buy. I went over all the trade results already. I liked a couple of your notes in there. But yeah, I already went over all the trade reviews and the post charts today. I'm going to start doing that at the beginning of my streams more so I can get them out of the way and move into just updating more. Because I do like to give you guys your time of going over what you guys have done. I know none of it's easy. I definitely commend anyone in here who is posting and trying to engage and interact, because it's not easy. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. .5 of the drop is also CDO. It's scary how that lines up. Mark your fair value gaps, guys. This guy on Twitter told me this would be a good thing to mark. I'm gonna mark it. Every time I leave the computer. Yeah, React. Don't come back to your computer anymore. You're not allowed to. My people need movement. This is nice. Volume is weak on the retest to today's midpoint. Good shit, Andrew. Honestly, Trade Floor feels like a book right now. We're just reading amazing updates by Andrew. There's a few of you in here kind of sprinkling in between, but Andrew is dominating all of you. Stay out of his way. I'm staying out of his way. A fib level, good stuff. Mel, looks like you're lining up with pretty much what Andrew's looking at here. It's today's midpoint. We should also say today's current midpoint. I mean, I know we're all saying today's midpoint to be quicker, but we need to all understand that it's the current like that's not the midpoint of today, because you got to remember it's moving. But Andrew put it in a pretty clear way in Trade Floor, so if you don't understand that, just reread Trade Floor. But I like what he's going for. He's kind of just pointing out like what the balancing part of today is, because that is kind of what the PDCP is, the midpoints. It's kind of like a balancing level. Mark your fair value gaps, guys. Maybe the last trade I see is breaking through this higher low. And even then, it's still like a little sketch, just because we're getting towards the bottom of the range that has been holding for a few days now. Good job, Mill. I agree with that point. Yeah, I saw a few other like potential scalping opportunities. I don't even like on the 1 minute. I saw a few like that, like the current day open trade. I'll never not count that, so that was a potential for anybody. But because of the spike, I could definitely see why somebody would hesitate. But I would also agree that was probably the first real trade of today, was this recent breakdown, seeing us not hold the highs over that highlighted zone, breaking it down, you know, losing that again, and getting multiple types of retests. Anybody who might not think there's any retests, there's a couple there actually. It did not just fall straight down. There were many indications before. Bruh. You know what? I'm not answering Trade Floor. I'll let y'all attack that one. Yo, watch out, Daffy. Don't say that. Because there are some actual idiots who did that from our chat. Watching for the break of the Oh my god, I actually almost read that out loud. I'm being trolled in Discord and YouTube now. You guys are trolling me in both chats. Actually, I think the guy in Discord's not trolling me. I think he's serious. But y'all are definitely trolling me on YouTube chat. I like turtles. I can hear the audio of that clip, and I've probably not heard that clip in forever. Oh. Okay, he said he realized. Well, he's not brain dead then. Everybody, round of applause for ITM Nick and the money Nick. I am not the turtle kid. I've never once painted my face like that. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever had a full face of paint like that ever in my life. I don't know if I was one of those kids. I couldn't do it. And I definitely was not on live television. I can tell you that much. New Halloween costume. Oh wait, what are y'all dressing up as Halloween? It is Halloween soon, isn't it? That's this week. Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. I know, I have tomorrow. Damn, it's on a Thursday? Bruh. That sucks. Damn, next year kids are gonna be so hyped. They'll have it on a Friday. Huge dub for future kids. Alright, so serious question, guys. If you guys went out into public right now, let's say we went back in time and we all lost a few years of age, what costume would you realistically dress up as to go get candy tonight or tomorrow or tonight? I don't know. When do you celebrate Halloween? Into the last day or the last day? I don't even remember anymore. But realistically, what would you guys dress up as? Not serious answers only. Andrew said P. Diddy. That might have been the winning answer off the rip. P. Diddy, and you bring a bunch of like bottles of like lube and stuff, just like tons of it. Woody from Toy Story, like kindergarten. Biden. Aloha said she'd go as garbage. Dividend bull. I read your comment first and it confused me, and then I went in order and it started making sense. Alright guys, not serious answers only. No one wants to go as a Cybertruck? Come on. Just kidding, bro. Just relax. Yo, that kid is based. iRobot. Go as a robot from iRobot. My Cybertruck when it's sick of punching. Literally kicks you out of your car. Takes control of the planet through vehicle dominance. I'm ready for it. That'd be a little scary though. Like we're always like we watch all these movies and it's always like robots taking over. But imagine it was a bunch of just Cybertrucks. That would be scary. Who the hell's gonna one-on-one a Cybertruck? I'm not. Not like anybody's gonna one-on-one an AI robot either, but you know. I think you take your chances with the robot over the truck. Yo, what's up, fool? How you been? I missed you, man. I don't know about the rest of the people in here, but I missed you. These people in here are cruel, man. Be careful. Tired, started a new job. What's your new job? Same job, same industry, just new place, or completely different job altogether? This is Full telling us he got promoted to CEO of JP Morgan. Tired as fuck, started a new job. This is how we figured out he's a CEO. Completely different industry, same work. Oh, okay. How to tell us you're a hacker without telling us you're a hacker. What are you in, cybersecurity? I know Fool does something cool. I don't remember what it was, though. You take out people for money? Damn, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't fall for Leland's Puerto Rico trap. He'll never get me. He'll never get me. Proceeds to get me. When the Godder's been godded. Alright, I am triggered now. Someone time out Leland in YouTube chat. I can't do it. It's a mortal sin. The 12. That's hilarious. He said the 12 minute. The 12 minute. Bro, that's how it is out here sometimes, though. Bro, you didn't have the fair value gap on the hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, the 5 minute, the 2 minute, the 3 minute, the 12 minute, the 4 minute, the 8 minute. Bro, that's why you missed that setup. Bro, you didn't have your entire chart completely encompassed by different colored zones? What are you doing? If you're not color blinding yourself, are you really even trading? Oh, nice. Dividend and Linwood. Good job, Mel, posting your reasoning. I was with you live, though. I'm going to move on to dividends. Started off today going below today's open. Looked for a lower high using the fib, which was invalidated. And off of that invalidation, he took calls up to the open. That took some balls, but you played it correctly. Then saw a 40%, which was actually an 80% on the 1 minute. So I sized up and took them up to 582, 583 demand zone. So seeing your entry was... I'm not going to say weak. Let's just say it started off as something. And it turned into something more. This gave you more confidence. Damn. Nice logic from dividend here. And didn't trade till we were out of the zone to the downside and made a lower high and TP'd at open. Next trade was after the rejection of open up to demand and waited for retest to enter and took profit going into the new day's high. Andrew called out JP Morgan. He's crazy. And I look and it was above the open but rejecting the daily demand. So he took a paper trade call on the lower high after the new high of day and took profit as a golden pocket from the lower lows. Dude, what the this is so in depth. I love this. I know someone hearing that out loud is like, what the hell is Bueller saying right now? But you really had in-depth thinking on this chart, dividend. Do not go any steps further than this. Stay on this path. I love your thinking. You knew to go for the in-between target. Honestly, I can't even really break this down to everybody because this is something you get to. Like, this is what I was talking about with Leland and some of the other guys in chat. I've probably talked to a few of you now about this. But you get to this point in the system where you start seeing the in-betweens a lot more, and this is what that is. He saw the weakness from the high, and instead of making up a target, he found something in between two notable areas. That's really all he's doing. He's finding notable areas, he's finding information in between them. Holy shit, dividend. I am actually a little impressed right now. I'm a lot of impressed right now. When I saw you say, or what part really dropped my jaw was right here. You said, hold up. Right here. Rejecting the daily demand and took a paper trade con on the lower high after the new high of day, and take profit as golden pocket from the lower low to high of day, meaning it gave up. It broke back down under the area that it was supposed to be bullish, which gave you confidence to be the opposite. Which was funny because at the very beginning of your trade review, you actually said the opposite too. On your other one, you were like, well, it actually dropped below, and then the fact that it retook that fib actually gave me the confidence that buyers were definitely present, even if it wasn't the best of entries, right? And then you found out it was a better entry. It gave you a retest also, and you actually were in the perfect part of the chart. No, I can't, bro. There's nothing bad about this. I can't. Like, there's nothing wrong with your... I forgot who it was. I'm not going to name who it was. I actually just remembered. But somebody told me to start looking at their stuff, too, and try to criticize it more. And, like, I swear, sometimes I try to criticize some of y'all's stuff. But if you're covering everything, it's very hard for me, too, because that tells me you understand as much as you can about the context you have on your screen, but also how to read in between it. You know, like a deeper thing you guys will get into as you do this stuff more will be like the in-betweens. And I know that doesn't make sense now, but it will later on. But let's say you have like a very important level, right? And then let's say price is breaking above it and your next level is too far. You know that thinking we do with our TA routine where we throw a halfway point between that just to not make anything up? Because we don't want to throw randomosity into our system, right? We want to actually keep it consistent. That is why we do that. That is what I saw in that trade review on both the down and the up. You saw it for both sides pretty much. And then I think the other thing that makes me proud, and I'll show you the exact YouTube video that breaks this down. The other thing that I'm proud of your trade review on, and I see a few of you do this, I do like this a lot, is abusing the fibs. Hold up, I gotta find the video. Actually, hold up, better trigger word would be reversal, not fib. That's not how you spell reversal, good try though. Here we go. Here it's literally less. It's 4.5 minutes. 4.5 minutes, and this is one of the deepest concepts in our entire system. And this is where a lot of people. I'm not attacking other systems, but this is honestly the only thing you need. When let's say you have all your other levels, you have everything else on your screen. Like if you ever end up needing something else, this is most likely it, right? Direction. Where are we going from those levels? Because sometimes it's not so easy, right? Maybe you start lower, then you go up, and you don't feel like you're going to continue going up. How can you tell that? How can you tell yourself you are still going up? What is a consistent way we can do that? Our fibs. If I go from the breakout level to the high of where we first slowed down, and we're still holding it, that should tell me we're going up, right? And vice versa. If I'm breaking that, if it's invalidating the fib, I don't care if it's still above the breakout level. If it broke up, and it's breaking under that midterm retest, yes, there is higher probability chance that it's coming down. That's just a fact. And this is a good concept that I saw in Dividend Bull's post. So if you guys want to review this, please do. But this basic ass concept will save you on any time frame. Any time frame. And it doesn't even have to be my levels. Go use it on whatever the hell you want. But this basic theory of, oh, it went from this level to this level, and then it slowed down, bet. What's the halfway of that? And then you're basing it off that. That's it. Because guess what? Most people aren't looking at this in-between. They're looking at that whole last level to get retested. They're looking at this to go get hit. They're not looking at the in-betweens like we are. So very, very strong post by Dividend there. And I'm sorry, I wish I could find something to criticize you on, but there really isn't anything there. You just are too good. Another small paper trade, LOL. Take profit near previous day low. Linwood on fire again. Bro, you were on it these past couple of days with the post. Current day open, broke. 40% entry. Oh, okay. So you took the 40% of it breaking down, and then when it came back up, you noted that it held under the monthly level, which should give you confidence, and then it pulled back down. And what should you have if it does break back above that level, Linwood? Let's say it breaks back above that level and you're wrong. What are you doing there? Is he in here? Oh yeah, he is. It's an invalidation. You can stop out there. So it's not just like, oh, this will give me more confidence, I'm correct. It's also, well, if I'm wrong, I know where I'm wrong at. So you have a very decisive area, which is good. He said, taking my stop loss, sorry it worked. No, you're good, man. I figured you were busy. And I knew you knew the answer. I just wanted to ask for stream, because I know that, it was a good conversation, honestly. These last two posts and results and review are very helpful. Good job, Dividend. Good job, Lynn. Keep it up. See, that's setting it by example. I like that. And keeping it simple at the same time. There's nothing... Like I said, we're not trying to sound intelligent. We're not trying to sound and make this as complex and confusing as possible. If anything, we're trying to do the opposite. We're trying to dumb this down as much as possible. So we can make it as simple to understand as possible. We can trust it a little bit more. Things that we understand are things that we can trust. If you don't understand it, it's going to be hard to have confidence in it. That's just natural thought. That's not even anything trading related, but we can apply that to trading. We can apply that to how we study our system or strategy, whatever you want to call it. I just punched my desk on accident. And yeah, Garden Trader, I did read your reviews over and over. I couldn't find much that I want to criticize. There's not much I see there yet. Maybe one thing at the end you could re-summarize. I know sometimes I do that. Like, I like to go on a rant and kind of go over everything, and then at the very bottom, I'll retype out. So in short, I want this to go up, I want this to go down. Just something basic. You could also add that if you want, but honestly, you don't need to. You already have it all typed in there. But trust me, if I saw something that I think needs to be edited, I would tell you. But I just think these are really good templates y'all have going. And those are honestly the charts, like, if you lose a trade on, you should still be happy with. You should still be like, whatever. It broke my level. Like, that was my stop out point. I told myself that. You know, that should be good for you. Okay, trade went wrong, but I'm out. You can decisively tell yourself you're wrong instead of sitting there questioning and hoping. Quick, someone look, is hoping a word? We can make hoping a word. Okay, thank you. I will do today's review when I get home. Take your time. Take your time. You've been up pretty long today already, Garden. I hope you get some rest tonight. I know you're up pretty early every day, but still, good to get that rest. Did you see the swing I had over the weekend? Not sure if posted it. What ticker was it? I might remember if you tell me. Was it over the weekend? Oh wait, if you did post it, I went over it, because I think I remember reading something in results and review. Nope, sorry, that was Andrew I'm thinking of. No, that wasn't Andrew I'm thinking of. Who was I looking at? Maybe it was Trade 4 I saw. I saw something like similar to this, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Just warning, guys. It's 1:15, so you have an hour and 45 minutes in the day. Till close again. Check title of stream. We have Sorry, I'm brain farting. Microsoft, Meta, and Starbucks earning after hours today. Tomorrow you have Apple and I can't remember them all. It's like No, it's Apple, Google. No, Google's already happened. Whatever. I posted the pictures. Y'all saw it. I'm gonna find them again. It's hard to remember which earnings are what day because I keep saying Meta, Microsoft together, the two M's, and then the day before it was similar to that, the Googs, the G's, and then Friday it's going to be the energy stocks, Exxon and Chevron, and so that keeps mixing up my Thursday. I keep forgetting what's actually happening Thursday. I just remember Apple. That's all my brain cares about. Apple, Apple, Apple. Okay, I found it. Tomorrow we have Apple and Amazon, the two A's. That should have been easier to remember. Tomorrow morning you have MasterCard. And that's really the only big one I see. You do have Conoco, Uber, MRK. There's a couple other big boys there, but big boy MasterCard's there. Oh, I think I saw it and react to it dividend, but I don't think I knew that it was like what it was. I think I was just happy you made money. I don't think I saw anything else on it. But good shit. Good swing. Everybody say hi to Kevo in chat. Just say hi. Hi, Kevo. Kevo's a good guy. He's been around a long time. He likes to make other people money. He won't do that, Andrew. He's so deep in my corner, he would never. He's so deep in my corner, his nickname is Corner. Come on, guys. We need more high Kevos in trade floor. Hi, Kevo. Say hi to Kevo. That's one of the few people I've seen get the bag and not turn into a total ass. Bro has remained humble, and bro has remained very cool. He will talk to anyone, no matter who you are in chat. He doesn't care. He's just glad that you're here. Kevo is very cool. Hi, Kevin. Yeah, that's how I react to SpongeBob talking to Kevin. But if you see him post, if you see him get active, that's probably the time to be active in the market. As you see, he's not really trying to extend himself too much this week because he also understands the crazy amount of risk this week. Which I know that's so boring to hear, and I try to tell you guys that so many times. You're going to get annoyed with me saying earnings week, it's going to be a boring week, blah, blah, blah. Like, just understand that doesn't mean there's no opportunity in the market. There is still amazing amounts of opportunity in the market. Just understand it's less than usual. So we're not saying it's impossible to trade or you shouldn't. We're just saying you shouldn't be trading as much. It's of course your decision to actually do that or not, but Mike said, always an opportunity if you miss the short scalp. If you miss the short scalp, the bounce. I think I'm reading that wrong. Bullets be hard to swallow. I saw a meme the other day. It was pretty funny. He was like, this is street politics. We vote with bullets around here. Like some white guy saying it too, like somebody who's definitely never been in the street. Street politics, we vote with bullets around here. Hey, y'all made Kevo's day. Thank you guys. One day it'll be you we're all spamming on the trade floor. I didn't even notice Noxta boosted the server twice. 3 days ago. Hold up. I gotta give Noxta props. I swear, Nike, Coca-Cola, and Starbucks, they're like the same, not the same chart. They definitely are not the same chart right now, but they feel the same when you look at them, when you trade them, the pacing of their price action, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like how they move, they all three feel like the same chart. Starbucks, Nike, Coca-Cola. Completely different companies. They just feel that way every time you go to the chart. Good job to anybody who caught J&J. I did hit the target. I'm just now checking some of these. UNH did good at first, but they're still struggling. But I still kind of like this for more downside. We'll see. Again, triggered back up is 560, I think 6. What was the other one? UPSD. Which this one I think is going to take a sweet ass amount of time because of the stock that is and because of where it's sitting, and people, it's kind of obvious where it's sitting. So I don't think it's going to be hard for people to see. So I think this one's either going to not work out and dissipate over time under 4960s on a daily time frame, or you are just going to see it randomly gap up. But this is the only reason I even look at this is because of Leland. I've literally never heard anyone talk about this stock except him. But I saw it was sitting in this like big like descending move. I was like, wow, this is kind of getting antsy, isn't it? You finally got a hammer. We entered here, got a hammer. Finally got a day here. We're settling out now in our position, but really just waiting for a nice move. But I like that chart a lot, which is weird because normally you will not hear me say good things about that chart. But right now it looks great. Who put MSTR back on the list? The hell, Andrew? I had to tell Kevo no, because if I didn't, he'd go in there and he'd be like, "All right, I'm boosting it 10 times." It's like, you don't need to. You don't need to. I know Kevo, dude. I know I know his abilities. Well, I know some of them. I'm sure he's got some hidden talent. Russia sues Google for 20 decillion. Decillion. See you later, Mel. Almost 3 years since Nike's all-time high. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting there. In approximately 6 days, it will be 3 years. It's almost like taking a woke stance on, like, just the general population isn't the way to go. It's almost like having part of your company inside of a country which is ran by communists isn't the way to go. But I digress. I'm not here to attack woke culture, but Nike sure fell victim. And you know what's funny too? There were plenty of companies who did reverse their actions. Do you guys remember who used to be the most woke company in the world? It was Netflix. But look how great they're doing. It's because they're not biased anymore. They don't care anymore. Fuck politics, bro. Post good movies and good shows. That's all we care about as a population of people who just want to be entertained. Bro, I don't care who Netflix support. I don't care about any of that. I want to watch movies and shows, right? So good on Netflix for changing their bullshit, because they could have totally fell victim to this as well, and they didn't. There's a couple companies that did great. I always love to give credit to them, because there were a lot of companies that could have totally stayed in that woke. That I don't even like calling it woke, because it really wasn't woke. It was just like these companies had left-leaning policies, and that's fine. A lot of companies have right-leaning policies. There's going to be times when those companies look like idiots. So I'm not trying to make this seem like a one-sided bully up story. But it's really cool to see companies like this thrive after making such political decisions, right? I think it's commendable. I think it's awesome Netflix did that. I don't like that their prices are a little more expensive, but it's nice to see their stock prices doing well, their companies doing well. And there's many companies that did this. There are so many companies that could look just like Nike right now. Also, I don't think it was just woke, though, too. Nike also did have a lot of restructuring of pretty major athletic contracts. Not Michael Jordan, but, like, pretty big athletes that are for Nike. I think a lot of restructuring happened with that, too. So I don't think it was just woke culture crap. There was a lot more going on with this. And then, of course, the China stuff, because, of course, they do have stuff that helps them in China. But just all that stuff mixed together, it doesn't help the stock price. I think if just any one of those reasons were here, I don't think this chart would be as bad, but the fact that it was multiple reasons at once, I think is what definitely screws it up for that long-term investor who's really just looking to find a good value spot. But yeah, Nike's trying to go to the floor. And honestly, it'd probably be just a good thing to just clear all of that and just start that chart over and probably just try to find some historical, like back here, if you go from the open of that green candle to the top of that red candle, that's an old supply. Right? But now, it's demand. Use it as support, So you see how I'm starting just far left just to kind of get context? I'm not trying to make anything up. So now we can establish, okay, this is a pretty big buyer area that we're kind of stuck at right now. The lows of that, but they're kind of stuck under where they fell down from over here. So they're kind of stuck between that zone, that level, and then 105. With, again, if we use our context, higher probabilities of potentially breaking lower, just because we don't have anything to tell us otherwise yet. This wasn't looking too bad. I think if you cut this off right here, it's like, alright, they have a chance. They could build off of that. Oh. Like, they had a really good chance of just building on 79s and 80s and just consolidating. I'm not even saying go up. I'm just saying sit here for a bit. And they couldn't even do that. They wanted to go fill the gap quicker. Couldn't. Came back down. Breaking the level. If they end up holding under whatever this is, 76, 75, there's a very good chance they are going back down a little bit lower. And this is post earnings. So it's not like there's like, oh, well, they might have a run up before earnings. Like, no. This literally just happened a month ago. That's crazy to look at, though. Their clothes are still expensive, I'll tell you that much. Maybe it was trade regulations and mixed with... Yeah, it was it wasn't just one thing. It was multiple things in one. It wasn't just like, just woke or just this or just that. It was all of it together. Plus, they still go with the market, too. When the market takes nice hits, Nike's going to feel it. But yeah, Nike, that's depressing for them. It's embarrassing. I'm also interested, even though none of us really probably care about these stocks individually, as a sector, we do need to pay attention to this. Chevron and Exxon both reporting Friday. And both, if you just look at their charts, are honestly opposite looks. Like when you come to look at Exxon here, it feels like this needs to come down more. When you go to Chevron, it feels like it just came up from being down more and is actually holding, looking pretty good to try to work back up. So again, two different looks going into earnings on the two biggest energy weights. So we'll be paying attention to that just to kind of see where they're going. Not necessarily to take a trade or anything. But it's just good to know where your sectors are going. Again, if you guys want to track your major ones, I would focus on the first 5. And then maybe you can work on expanding your list, your memory of the list. But I would work on these first 5 and just try to write down your top 2 weights, top 2-3 weights of each one of these sectors, and just get a little list down. And that's really what most of this is right here, from Apple all the way to Netflix. That's what most of that is, that level of thinking. Just using multiple weights of multiple sectors, give myself a decent view of how the market should be moving. Again, if they're all up, I'm assuming SPY's probably up really big. So just trying to use that to our advantage when we can. Not always going to work out. Thank you guys for 25 likes on today's stream. That is pretty big. We have about an hour and a half left in the day on the market. How was everyone's day so far, though? Did you guys catch any good trades? Did you guys just kind of chill and watch? Did you guys have a green day, red day? How's everyone feeling today? And I don't really mean just did you make money or not. You know, did you feel like you were in control or not? That's really what I care about. Good on you if you did make money, though. But how many of you felt like you were in control today? How many of you felt like you had a good grip on what was going on today? You just didn't take action? You know, how's everyone feeling? Discord and YouTube. Let me know. Guys want one thing and it makes me sick. Guys, completely nothing. Just trading setup. That's from Sinful. Posted that 2 hours ago. That's pretty funny. Oh wait, there's a ton in here. I'm missing out. Hold up. Jesus, that's a huge croissant. Or what is that? I don't even know what the hell that is. Literally the entire market, AMD. Why? I'm not even gonna ask. Nvidia when AMD is red. I've never met this man in my life. Okay, these are pretty good. Guys want one thing, it's sick. Made money but not happy with your trades. React said like a boss. So nobody has any other answers to that, but XLE inside bar? Probably. If it is, I'm not surprised, just because of that Friday report with both Exxon and Chevron, but that's kind of funny. It's actually lining up indecisively. Nobody knows how they did today? Just React and VC? CLF. Cleveland Cliffs. I miss looking at this thing. Clicks off it next second. McDonald's still pulling away. Kind of sucks that we had earnings kind of mixing into all this, but man, I would have loved to have caught that because it was rejecting recent all-time high perfectly, which we don't always get that. We don't always get that perfect test. Always bullish RTX. D-Touch would heavily agree. Why does Cisco look like a good breakdown for shorts? I remember charting this. I don't know how this trades, so I don't know if I'd take my idea on this. I really have no idea how this trades. Next week contracts have some open interest, but not a lot of volume. The spreads are a little wonky. Alright, maybe we'll just watch Cisco. But I do like this for downside. I think it'll go at least touch 55. 5480 breaks. It can go down and not just fill the gap, but it could also do one of those moves where it... Here, I'll just show you. Where it does this, and then instead of filling the gap, it'll go under it more, and then make people think it's going more, and then that's when it wicks and it closes above it, and then it probably settles here for a couple days. If it doesn't just keep dumping to 5330s, but... That is my level of thinking on that. I like that one a lot. Risk would be the open of today. I wouldn't let anybody go hold above that. Or I personally wouldn't hold above that. Not like I have any control over others. What a weird superpower that would be. You could just control one person at a time. Didn't trade, just came back. No, you're good, fool. I figured you didn't. Pretty good. Got two really good entries on SPY. One was early, but Diamond Hands got some out of it. Oh, okay. So it sounded like a rough trade, but you got yourself a little bit out of it. Vibing. Took an MGM short scalp to the upside earlier. Wait, how are you taking a short scalp to the upside? Like a quick scalp, maybe is what he meant. Quick scalp to the upside earlier in sympathy of sports, but didn't manage it, lol. Oh, I see what you're saying. MGM because of sports. Okay, it was a sympathy play. Fair enough, fair enough. Pretty good. Did normal trades in paper trade. Nice dividend. I saw that. I saw you got a couple reps in. It doesn't move that well. Looking for other sectors. Not feeling SPY. Okay, Alexis. I like that. Yeah, that's honestly what made me look at healthcare this week. I was like, wow, like literally every sector is reporting this week except like banks and healthcare. So I just started looking at J&J, UNH, stuff like that. I had the same thinking though. Honestly, like instead of just understanding this week could be boring and then watching the stuff that could be boring, it's kind of nice just understanding like, all right, what's not reporting this week? And then just go watch that. Or go watch a different position sector or anything, you know, so props to you. Thinking outside of the box. No, I did not see Eli Lilly today. Why could this not have helped my trades? How does it even open like that bad? That's insane. What did they do? Did they finally tell everybody the truth? Man, this can't just be earnings numbers. They had to have said something. Oh, here it is. Oh, sounds like their weight loss medicine isn't doing as well as they hoped. It's almost like we should all just take weight loss as a serious thing and stop trying to find a fucking pill that just solves it all. It's crazy how that works. Bro, I know old timers are laughing at us reading that kind of stuff. That's crazy. Did people actually think that was gonna work? Like, y'all remember growing up, like, watching cartoons? And I mean, there's cartoons all the time that had stuff like this. There'd be, like, weight loss pills, and, like, if you eat this, you'll grow big. If you eat this, you'll get really small. Like, you know, but it's a cartoon. We all know it's a joke. It's like they are not out of that cartoon world. That dip, rip, and AM confused me in real time. However, felt bullish after and liked entry. And we could talk about that too. I could understand why anybody would be. I said that too when I was going over this. Like, I could see why anybody would be like, okay, I'm not touching this. Just because in real time, this was probably a lot scarier. Seeing it actually start lower, seeing it push lower. The reason you should have definitely been. I'm not even saying be bullish. I don't like it when people say it like that, because that tries to tell people that there's only two directions. No, there's three. So a big thing with me is that you should already have context that we're inside of this range, as we've been going over every day in stream, as I've gone over every time I post these levels. Another thing is we have earnings. So your mindset should be that we probably hold this until proven otherwise. Vice versa. We should reject this until proven otherwise. They tried their best to break out of it today, and the only other level I have above that zone, they rejected to the cent. This level was not added today. This level has been here. Not even 1 cent. It was to the cent. So, no, you were right, Dr. J, thinking that you should be a little bit more bullish than bearish. And it's okay to feel like you're... It's not guessing. You know, it's more of like a calculated approach, because you have understanding of like, okay, well, this was here, and this was here, and this did that, and this did that. So I'm going to base it off that. Like, see, that's basing off something. That's not guessing. So that's good. That I'm okay with. I just hate when I see people come in here and they're like, are we going up from here? What? Get out of my chat. We're not here to just talk about one direction because of one thing. Like, let's go over why you should think that. Why you should feel this way. Why your intuition should be screaming this at you. That's what I like to do. No, you're good, Doctor. I was happy to go over it again, honestly. I like going over stuff like that because it's realistic. You know, how many times could you go into a YouTube stream and someone's like, why didn't y'all buy shorts here and sell here? Why didn't y'all buy longs right here and sell right here? Like, are y'all dumb? Like, what? That's unrealistic, right? Because what were you probably thinking after this amount of, after the first, let's just say 20, 25 minutes of the day? Probably a little confusion because it's just a lot of movement. Be realistic. But let's use our context to give us a little bit of help. Not necessarily to push us into a trade or to jump into being bullish or bearish, but just to give us something, stability, so we're not so confused or so lost. What I went over in my review as well, Dr. J, is the last couple days, it's actually done this exact move. Maybe not here, but literally yesterday, we had the gap down, it did go a little bit lower, and it held the zone. No break of the zone. Same thing at the end of the day. High of day, we end up smacking that. No break. So. Also, deeper thinking. I think the only reason we had a chance of even breaking up today is because we actually closed at a pretty good part of the chart yesterday, right? It didn't close down here. It closed way up here. We dropped more, and then it still had the nerve to close way up here. So I think that's the reason it had a little bit of chance to actually make it up here, but it was pretty surprising the drop came first. But still, maybe that was just to liquidate some positions end of day yesterday. But no, that's a cool thing to look at. I like looking at that stuff. That's the best way you can review too, is be realistic. You know yourself better than me. What is something you would actually go for? What is your intuition screaming at you at certain parts of the chart? And that is something you can correct. You can't make up, you can't change the way we guess or look at things, but we can definitely change the way that our intuition is going to yell at us. If I've studied this 100 times and I see that we're at the bottom of a zone, my intuition should be saying I'm a little bit more bullish than bearish. Does that tell me to get into a trade? No. But it sets me up in the right direction to possibly look for a chance to get a trade, right? That's what your intuition should be used for. It is a tool, but it needs to be used correctly. You can't just use it as a entry signal every time. I'm not saying you did that. I'm just saying, like, I know how people work. I know how I work for a fact. I know I was definitely guessing in the beginning. using just intuition, like, oh, I think I feel this or I feel that. You know, I hate when people beat up their intuition too, because they're like, that's just guessing. Like, it is just guessing. But you can change that. You can make it into calculated guessing, where it makes sense. And you're actually able to find other opportunities based off that. Like we just went over today in this. Like, if anything, it just creates more setups. More chances. More places you can draw your fib from. More places you can look for a breakdown. More places you can look for a hold, you know. Look for a trend. More places you can, you know, have that context speak to you. Like, hey, this is bullish. This is holding here. It's just good to have that scream out to you. Alright, what other post we got in here? Yeah, Eli Lilly thinking they're 300 steps ahead. I don't know where they're getting this future technology from. I missed the first few hours of stream. Oh, my bad, I already read that. The dip rip bouncing on the weekly level and staying above yesterday low gave me confidence. However, my lizard brain still takes over at times and I make bad decisions in real time. But that's what we're trying to work on. But you see, your intuition was right. Your intuition was right. But use your context. Your context should help you make better decisions. If you're just looking at the chart and you're like, well, I like that, it's a big red candle. That's not really a reason. Cool. Big red candle. What does that tell us? Oh, we went down to a weekly level. Oh, we held the zone. Oh, we rejected this. We held that. That's context. That's something I can base something off of. Me every day comes with reps. But you see what I mean, though? Like, you're able to make the better than the worst decision more often than not. Like, that's what we're trying to work towards. We're trying to work into that direction. Are we going to be perfect? Fuck no. Would we like to be perfect? Probably. We'd probably all like to be perfect and not make mistakes. But we're going to. And we're going to work on our best to make these decisions without making shit up, if that makes sense. You know, let's try to make decisions that have context to them. Let's make decisions that have you know, reasoning behind them. Don't just say things or do things or try to look cool or try to look like a winner or anything like that. We don't care about that. Working towards doing or making good calculated things that make sense. Let's try to make sense when we trade. Hey, why'd you like this? If I have to ask you why you like something and you can't answer me, then you were guessing on that trade, right? You should have a pretty simple reason on why you like or not like something, right? It doesn't always have to be about getting into a trade. Maybe there's a reason you didn't get into the trade. That's a great thing to find. That's a great tip for yourself. You know, use that over and over. Use that parameter. Be limited in your approach. We don't need to trade every single setup. You can eyeball as many as you want. That's always good too, but actively trading that many, it'll definitely pull you apart. The reps are helping in the targeting practice. Good, glad to hear that. Then it's just management and being realistic. 100%. It really is. Like, you already have all the hard work on the screen. You already have all the thinking done. Like, you understand the types of entries and stuff. You understand all of that. Like you said, it's about being realistic. That's definitely important. And management. It's just managing at that point. It might not seem like it, but trying to rewire my intuition so that I can trust it. Yeah, definitely. Definitely trust it. Or work towards trusting it. It's not easy, but it's really just about going over things over and over. Like if you're still in here and you don't understand the importance behind pre-market high or pre-market low, like, it's a huge red flag to me for one. But that just tells me that you haven't looked at them enough or you haven't reviewed them enough. And like, that's what you got to do. Like, we're not here to trick ourselves, but I'm definitely not going to sit here and look at things I don't understand. Right? So you need to have context. You know, if you know pre-market high breakouts can lead to bullish moves, that's great. Like, just something simple like that. But in any case, oh, we got a bullish candlestick at a bullish part of the chart. Okay, well, that's two things telling me that I should be bullish here, right? Let's see if I can get anything else. You know, stack on top of that. But just do anything but make up stuff. Never just guess or hope or close your eye. Don't enter and then walk in the other room and then come back in and then be like, all right, how did it work out? No. And please, guys, before I finish, like, none of this is easy. I hate when I break this stuff down. Like, I'm trying to break it down in a simple fashion so we can understand it better. But please, by no means, take this as like, oh, this is really easy for Bueller. Like, no, this is difficult for me too. This is difficult for anybody trying it. Or progressing through it, I should say. But this is not easy. But the better you can break something down, the better it is for you. Because the more simple it is, the easier it is to understand. And that is how you build confidence behind something, by understanding it. Whatever it may be. Any thoughts or extra comments to throw on top of that, feel free. Excuse me. Garden Trader, my bad, I'm reading this a little late, but she said, I feel okay with today. Got a late entry. I hesitated because it was so early in the day. Took my profit just before my target, so I'm proud of that part. Well, hey, that's nothing to be mad about. It honestly sounds like you made some realistic decisions, though. Like you say here, I got a late entry, I hesitated, and then you gave a reason, like, well, because it was so early in the day, I hesitated, blah, 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 you know. You gave yourself a reason for why you did that. So I wouldn't necessarily say that was hesitation. It was probably just you being aware. But that's good. And I like what you said too, right before your target. There's nothing wrong with that. I love that. Running into that target is always going to be the best. Now, if you can get past it too, that's always going to be better. But we don't live in some Narnia fashion, imagination land. We don't get to have these wishes. I wish it would go past all of your targets, honestly. You get that extra extrinsic value. Wow, say that 3 times fast. Extra extrinsic value. Extra. Wow. This is what I see on Discord. Look. 1 message hidden from likely spammer. And then I show message. Anime profile pic. Now this is concerning. They've had an account since 2019. That's kind of insane. Are you real person? Talks like a robot. Are you real? Oops. Thank you guys again for all the likes on today's stream. Today's stream started off a little heated, but it was all in good faith. I'm seeing a lot of good comments, posts, trades, posts, and all that kind of stuff in the Discord. Mainly in the post charts and results and review channel. But trade floor, you guys are doing really good at the reply method we kind of went over. If you're going to be like, Tesla bullish, and this is why. You can post that message. That's fine. Totally cool. But make sure to not just only post that. Please go into there afterwards, and let's say the market starts moving or Tesla does something else. You can go up to a post and be like, oh, okay, reply to your original post, and then update it. Update whatever you need to do. And then at the end of it too, you could just finish it off there. You could post it in results and review. It doesn't really matter. You can put it anywhere you want. Good question, Nardle, and good job answering, Linwood. I love seeing the teamwork. I love seeing you guys help each other out. Even if it's basic ass questions, you should be happy to answer someone's basic question to prove to yourself that you do know the answer. It reinforces that information in you. And take that. Don't take that lightly either. When you find something, break it down to an as simple breakdown as you can. You know, let's say, I don't even know what to say. Like an open range breakout. What is an open range breakout? Think about that. It's just a new high or a new low, right? It's a recent low. So it has probability of continuing in that direction, but not so much so because of why? Because it's so obvious. Everyone can see it. But that doesn't mean it can't continue, right? So that's just us breaking down something a little bit more so we can understand it better. The more you understand it, the more you trust it. The more you trust it, the more confident you are. And raise of hands, how many of you have ever taken a trade where you just felt super confident, you felt like you knew exactly what you were doing? I mean, they don't happen all the time. But that's the feeling you want to go for every trade. You want to understand, you want to have confidence in whatever you're looking at. Misi said, back in the comatose zone. It's like Spy gets here and forgets what to do. BC with a very good breakdown there. Nice sector breakdown by Dividend. Thank you for posting that. Where are you posting that from? Is that also TradingView? The sector part of it? Username said 1 is the loneliest number, sideways is the loneliest direction. Also been on the too confident side and got smoked, but it's hard to accept something, not gonna lie. No, it is, but it's not about accepting something. Like, you gotta take that out of the equation, Alexis. It's not about accepting something. It has nothing to do with accepting something. That's what's wrong with your outcome. Your trade was wrong because it hit a parameter. You need to have a parameter. Oh, this was my stop before I planned my trade. Oh, it ended up breaking it. Or let's say you have a parameter of like, every time my contract goes down this percentage, I'm out. You know, that's what Dappy does. That's why I'm using that as an example. But these are parameters. It's not about accepting shit, right? It broke your level. Get out. You're wrong. You don't get to decide anything after that. You're not accepting anything, right? You could deal with the accepting afterwards in your review, but you're not accepting anything. It broke your level, or it hit your parameter, or it did the thing you said it was going to do when you're wrong, and now you're wrong. Get out. You don't get to keep talking about it, right? Because you're wrong now. It's out. And it's not about being right or wrong. The trade invalidated. It's over. Done. It's okay. Move on. That was an outcome we knew that was possible, based on what we had planned beforehand, right? So try to just take that out of the equation entirely. You know, and I know that is hard. It is kind of accepting in a way. But I know what you mean. But just take that out of the equation entirely. You know, we don't really get to dictate anything like that. You know, the trade's already going. What did we plan beforehand? What did the Alexis before he was in the live trade say he was going to do if it did go wrong? What did he say? Where did he say he was going to get out? That's the Alexis that you need to accept. The one who gave you the plan beforehand, not the one that's in the trade live right there in the moment. That guy's going to be a little bit shakier. The guy before the trade that planned it, that talked about it in a sound, peaceful way before everything was moving on him. You know, that's the guy that's going to get it right most of the time. I'm not going to say every time. None of us are perfect. But most of the time, that beforehand Alexis is going to get it right. But it's not also a bad thing, Alexis, to end up on that too confident side. Confidence is a good thing. You just got to know how to hone it. You just got to know how to use it. But it's not a bad thing, honestly. I love when I see some of you guys get, not cocky, but I like when I see some of you guys get very confident. I like when some of you guys are like, no, I think this is going to happen. I like that. It's okay to be confident. It's okay to feel empowered. That's totally fine. I have nothing wrong with that. It's just about how you use it. You can't ignore rules that we've previously gone over just because you're confident, right? You don't get to ignore your invalidation just because you're confident. And that's a hard thing to think about. Because You might hear me say it and be like, oh, that's simple, I'll just not do it. Like, no, it's not that easy. And it's pretty big of Alexis to come in here too and actually be able to say that too. So shout out to Alexis. It's not easy to just come in here and say shit. Like, I hate when people try to act like they're perfect and every trading decision they make is so easy. Like, no, it's not. They're hard. They're emotional decisions that everyone is making. And you can only make so many of those per day, right? Let's say you got to drop your kid off at school. That's a decision. But it's not an emotional decision. That's something you have to do, right? An emotional decision is something that you're drawing out of yourself. You're deciding to enter that trade. You're deciding to put money on that chart. You're deciding to risk it right then and there. You're deciding to believe in yourself, saying it's going to do this, it's going to do that. But you're also going to have the reverse of that. You're going to have that detachment from yourself also. Like, oh, okay, this is what my trade template was. It hit this, I'm wrong. Oh, it hit this, I'm right. I'm taking profit. I don't need to be in this anymore. So whatever direction, whatever outcome you get, it really does kind of draw back to what did I say beforehand, though. Almost nothing matters after you get in. I mean, everything matters, but you know what I mean, in terms of how you're going to take that trade, how you're going to get to the outcome. Trading view, advanced view, and you get to choose what. Oh, that's right, I've seen that before. Yours just looked really nice. Little pie thing above the watch list. Damn. Yeah, feel free to share that more in chat. I like how that just looks on yours. Like an actual visual. It's not just like a bunch of numbers like on my screen. You know, mine, I'm like, guys, 3 of them are up, 2 of them are down, but yours was like a visual. That was kind of cool. I know Stock Twits has some, or not Stock Twits. What's the one we use, Daffy? Bar Chart. Bar Chart has one. Or no, was it stockchart.com? I don't know, I can't remember, but the one that Daffy uses for his sector rotate, that's the one that I would look at for visuals, and that I still to this day find that helpful. Because the visual of it is cool. Seeing like what's up, what's down. Here, I'll just show you what I mean. What am I looking at? I don't want to look at this. How do I look at the XLs? Did I mess it up? I think I have to log in to fix it. Alright, I'm not doing that. Yeah, stock chart. That one's nice. No problem, Alexis. And I wasn't like trying to attack you or get onto you. I think it takes a bigger person to do what you're doing. Actually coming into chat and saying what you're doing wrong, and then trying to get some feedback, no matter what it is. But just know this place is a safe space. I'm probably going to be the only aggressive person towards you if it's to your trade reviews, but you know me, I'm doing it out of love. It's not like I think you're stupid or anything. Like, no, it's definitely nothing like that. If I thought you were stupid, I don't even think I would talk to you. And I don't even look at... You shouldn't look at people like that anyway. You shouldn't... I wouldn't talk to them. They're stupid. Like, what? Anybody can help anybody. If you've ever seen the... If you've ever seen the interview with that guy, with Elon Musk, he was just some random guy interviewing Elon Musk. Right? Isn't Elon Musk the most powerful, richest, smartest person in the world, apparently? So why should he be listening to some random-ass interviewer? He did. You know why? Because they had good feedback. So it doesn't matter who you're talking to. You need good feedback. People who are actually going to talk about stuff, right? Elon Musk talks to this interviewer. The guy goes, well, why don't you just do this with that? And Elon Musk goes, wait, that's so fucking smart. And then does it. And then guess what? Conserves tons of fuel. Saves tons of money. Makes his rockets more efficient. All because of some random interviewer that had no business asking a question of that level. But good feedback. So it doesn't matter about being smart or not. Yeah, Elon literally said, "I never thought of that." And then within, I think it was within 2 years or within a year and a half, already made all of those changes. And listen to that guy. Had no business to. Elon Musk doesn't even have to listen to these people. But what did he do? Took his feedback, took it to heart, took it to the blueprint, fixed it, made it more efficient. Like, so it doesn't matter like who you're talking to. Just make sure you're talking to people who are actually going to be like active minded, I guess. Like if you're seeing someone you've never seen type in chat give you criticism, Probably just keep moving on. But if you see someone like Alexis, Mike, Carter, Dividend, React, Daffy, Leland, you know, someone you see kicking ass in the chat every day, Dr. J, someone you see in there every day, interact with them, reply to them. They will do the same to you, so you can give each other feedback. Maybe he sees something you will never see. Maybe you see something he will never see. It's just nice to give each other feedback. I probably sound like a dick when I do it, but I don't mean to. But let's watch that interview with Elon Musk, now that I'm talking about it so much. I'm just typing that. That's not actually what happened. I just need to... Yeah, here it is.
You don't even need a cold gas.
Whoops. Hold up. Also, why is my, like, tabs doing that? Oh, hold up. I gotta pause the music. Change this to this. Alright.
You don't even need a cold gas filter system. You already have hot gas. But this is only for the booster, right? Yes.
It was right here in Elon Musk's brain that he realized this guy interviewing him was genius.
Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, we might be wise to do this for the ship too. We're gonna fix that. Jeez. I'd say that's like one of the
7 months later. Sorry, I was way off. It wasn't even a whole year later. 7 months later. And then he says, I'd say that's like one of the biggest improvements that we've made. What? Off the top of his head, it occurred to me while explaining it to you. I was like, wait, what are we doing? Like, that is insane, dude. Someone like Elon Musk did not have to listen to someone like that. But he did anyway. But I'm not saying adore Elon Musk. I'm saying take that concept. Abuse it. You have a chat full of people who give a shit about their own growth. Interact with them. They'll interact back with you. They'll give you good feedback that you would never think of. You know, I give feedback tons of times. You guys give me feedback. So, just keep it up. Hey, what's up, Wilson? Good to see you, man. Once I started taking ownership and stopped hoping, I got better. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Move on. Exactly, because it's part of the system. It's part of whatever strategy any of you are trading. Even if it's mine, even if it's your own, even if it's something you found on YouTube. I don't care what you're trading. I just care that you have a system that has rules, conditions, parameters. You know, it's like, if you're going to do this, do this. Okay, you're wrong? Bet. You know you're wrong when this happens. Good. Now you don't have to sit there and be all emotional about it. You know that you're going to be wrong in that trade. Take that early signal. All right, I'm out. I don't gotta take a 50% loss, and I don't have to sit here and cry about it either. I don't have to feel like I fucked up, because I didn't. It's just part of the system. Some trades don't work out, but let's remember that it's absolute every single time. But guys, again, in short, what I'm trying to say is, please don't go into chat and then go in here and be like, why is no one answering me, man? I do all this posting and no one's answering. Are you also going to other people and interacting? Like, let's do that, you know, back and forth. Like, are you going to other people's posts and even saying anything? I see a few of you do it, but, you know, not all of you. So make sure you're taking that serious. So I do get some people that'll be like, no one ever replies to my posts and just feels like no one cares. It's like, bro, I've never seen you interact with anyone. What are you talking about? No one knows you. And it's okay, but it's like, at the other end of it, like, you can't cry. To each his own. I cried big back in the day. I also stopped playing earnings and took what the market gave me instead of what I wanted. Dude, for real, that sucks, though. Thanks for all the help over the years, especially with the mental aspect. Same to you, man. It's just nice to talk shit out. It's not like it's a one-way conversation. Like, I'm just talking down to you. Like, it helps me. Thank you. We have another David in here. What's up, new David? Or maybe it's an old David on a new David account. Confirmed I'm buying AMB the next 2 days. This is financial. No, don't say that. Don't say that. It's funny, though. This is financial advice, but I am not licensed. Source, trust me, bro. The guy interviewing him is Mark Rober, a former NASA engineer. Okay, that's probably why he was well informed. But still, like, you know what I mean, though? Like, he didn't have to even care about that guy's opinion. He could have been like, yeah, whatever, dude, cool. Instead, right there, or another thing that he could have done is taken what he said, done it, and then not even told anybody that guy told him. You know, he could have paid to get that taken down or whatever. He could have just not listened to him altogether and then said it was his idea. Instead, goes back, has another interview with him, and says, hey, yeah, it was only because I was talking to you about it that I thought of it, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, thanks. Like, he didn't have to do any of that. He's Elon Musk. Any powerful person could have just ignored that person, but he didn't. Totally took his, not advice or criticism, just took his question, thought about it for a second, used it as feedback, and then made his rockets better. His boosters and all that. So take that same concept. Again, thank you guys for the YouTube stream. Got 30 likes on it just about. We still got about 48 minutes left in the day. I'm not leaving yet. Just appreciating all the likes on the stream. If there's any chart requests, of course, this is definitely the time to do it, to look at bigger time frames. I'm going to go grab a water real quick, but feel free to spam the chat with a request of whatever you guys want to look at. Please, dear Lord, do not say something that has an earnings. Just to remind everybody, today we have Microsoft, Meta, Starbucks. Tomorrow after close, we have Apple and Amazon. So a lot of the big boys are reporting today and tomorrow. Personally, I'm not taking any stream swings until probably Friday or Monday, most likely Monday, just because of all the earnings, and I do take it seriously. If we do take another swing, it will not be one of those sectors, though. Of course, I've been posting ideas all week on UNH, J&J, UPST, all kinds of tickers, but did not take any stream swings this week. That is so hard to say. But I'll be right back. I'm going to get some water. When I get back, send your or already have your request ready. We'll go through a couple of the daily time frames, see what ideas we can get out of them, if any. And yeah, I'll be right back though. Okay, I was gone a lot longer than I wanted to be. I ended up getting on the phone after. That's on me. Sorry. All right, we're doing daily time frame charting, right? ABBV. Jeez, you're crazy. You're one of those. Oh, they just said earnings. I don't want to chart this. Yeah, I don't want to do charts that are literally earnings related. Alright, we're skipping this one. But if you want, I'll add it to the list and we can come back to it. Damn, you really waited all that time just for me to say that. No, I'm kidding. Swing streams, I didn't know he was married. I am not married. LOL. Sophie. Sinful would love to hear us chart Sophie. So this one also just had earnings. You also suck. Just kidding. This one's kind of been in the setup, basing off of this. So like its upside momentum is pretty crazy now, and then the earnings strength not giving up is also crazy. So if you go to bigger, I wouldn't watch that on the daily right now. But it actually looks like it is going to keep going up. 1244 is my next bigger time frame level, so I'll probably be watching around that. Looks like there was a recent high way back here, but I'm not going to mark that. And yeah, it looks like I need to add some levels to this chart. I'm going to add the base of that. And then just that lower high, and that's it. So 1244 and 14. But it is doing pretty well because it's had a lot of time down here, not just when it fell down here initially, but even after that. It had an impulse move, pretty good high or low, trying to hold on to that like a little liquidated 90% entry here to like give us that momentum to even potentially go up. They go up into earnings, and then even after earnings, they're still holding up. So just good forward momentum. Not really much to cover on that one. But there are some good levels there for you. I would say 11 is a pretty important level. So if that gives up... if that gives up, what's it called? 11, then you should definitely fear that. I would give it more time on the daily if that's the time frame you're watching it on too, because that's kind of hard to jump into as a new trade. But I do like the forward momentum kind of going forward if you're just someone who's just asking about direction. I do like the direction on that. Dividend Bull said, wait, Bueller's married? I'm unsubbing. Down here he said, I'm subbing. I had to confirm I wasn't. Thank you. LUV. This is a kind of crazy chart as well. Southwest. When I always think of this in my head, I just always think about it as like the weak-ass airline is when I think about it. It's not as popular as American or Delta. And yeah, Southwest is pretty big, but I'm talking about the chart. The chart is not that enjoyable. In terms of the airlines, there's a lot of better options. Personally, I like Delta the most in terms of trading. They have the best movement, in my opinion, and their options chain actually does follow suit. Americans doesn't really follow... The chain doesn't move as well as Delta Airline, in my opinion. At least with how much I've swing traded both of them. I know for a fact Delta is better than America, but I don't know on what scale for Southwest, because I don't trade them as much as I have A or D. What's the other airline again? ALK? Yeah, Alaska Airline. That's another decent one. I'm trying to say all of them except Boeing, because Boeing's not just an airline. They were a lot more than that. But there in the gap, I'd say it's something obvious. Whoa, don't want to buy that. Is a Fibonacci retracement. Go from the close of that day to the open of this day where they gap down to. And then I'm not really going to leave that up there, but I do want to mark these two levels here. The 50%. And then the golden pocket is the 61.8 to the 65. The reason we only mark the 65 is because I just want to see the furthest extent of that golden pocket with that 50%. So I'm just using it as an entire area as a whole, not just one level individually on its own. Also, it's kind of annoying to say I'm grabbing the 61.8 to the 65. That's just a little annoying. And the golden pocket is not just one level, it is two different percentages. So that's why I like to do that. I get all of what I want to see. Excuse me. So they actually have already made the move to hit the area, which kind of rule of thumb when you see these, you want to kind of see one hit and then a pullback and then a return, and then that would be your move. So it is already on that return path. Just a little worrisome because this is straight up from an inside bar from earnings. So this is literally just spiking up over the last 4 days. And it's from earnings, another from earnings chart. Gotta love that. Saying of the week. But it's a good sign to see it already made one move here. So I would say it has a little bit higher probability than not that it does try to at least touch inside of this range again from here. But we'll see. Do other airlines have earnings? They do not. They do not. They do not. They already had it. And I can't honestly think of the other ones. I used to be so good at airlines. There's like a billion of them. But those are the most important ones that we just went over. Definitely have fun with Delta, though. I want to see you challenge Delta, whoever typed UAL or LUV, Mike. Abuse Delta a lot. Delta is so much fun. Tesla just also came off earnings. I just recharted them, so we don't have to chart them again, but they're in a kind of a precarious spot too. So this one's weird. I had to think about this a few different times. So they've been up here already. This has been a rejection. This isn't even the first time right here. Then they hit it again, they hit it again. But this is the most different one. So this one spikes up off of a pretty crazy recovery. I mean, it had a very nice base. I think we all remember that one. Ever since then, they came down, made a lower high, touched it again, held on top of that range again, kind of just showing that they are definitely bullish above that consolidation at the very least. Make a good move here, make another lower high, make another higher low, step up. They finally break over this range, kind of impeding that they do want to test the top of where they gap down from. That would be, sorry, way down here, 246. They end up doing that over just the course of like a week and a half, I think. Yeah, about a week and a half. End up touching the highs again. We're back at square one, touching that area again. They fell back. Kind of leading into earnings. I know all of us remember this because this was just crazy. But leading into earnings, it was just nothing, right? Then we get that big, awesome news. They did great on numbers, forward guidance. Everyone loves Elon, blah, 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 right? So we're kind of in this zone where this is the first time we've hit this supply, and it might actually have a chance of, if it can hold right here, break through it. So I would actually, on this time, compared to the, here, I'll open this up a little more. So this is where it actually came from. Rejected, rejected, reject. Oh, I'm sorry, it's back here. Reject this. This is all the way back from literally a year ago, September of last year. So that's a little over a year. Since then, we're just kind of dealing with the lower highs. But out of every time that it's gone up to touch this, this is the first time it has a chance due to the fact that this came from earnings, but it's actually holding near the highs and potentially consolidating. So if we can get more consolidation here, that gives us that confidence that it can break up. Every other time it's gone up here, it's a touch and drop. 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 There's zero consolidation here, right? This is the first time after earnings that they've actually held a decent percentage of its jump, right? So I would say out of all the times in the past, this has the best look. But that still wouldn't tell me, like, yo, buy calls right now. So I don't have any plays for you on Tesla. Like I said, I'm not going to touch anything in these sectors until Friday or Monday of next week. Just because Tesla might not have earnings anymore. But what other popular ticker in its sector does? Who can tell me? Here's a fun quiz question. What other awesome-sized, sector-sized ticker from the same sector as Tesla? So it's like two questions in one. You got to remember what sector it's in, and you got to tell me what sector it is. Amazon is correct. What sector are they from? You got 1 out of 2. Can you get the other? Come on. Come on. Make me proud. Make me proud, damn it. Consumer what? Consumer what? Consumer what? Come on. Yes. Disc. Discretionary, yes. XLY. Consumer discretionary. Amazon. Good stuff, guys. Yes, that is the correct answers. So that is going to play into the forward momentum of Tesla. Potentially. It might not do anything, for all we know. So, Yeah. But that goes for Tesla. Like I said, it's not. We're really not paying attention to those tickers yet until most of these earnings are done this week. So you'll see me pick up on more TA, I guess you could say, for all the popular tickers, more as these sectors finish their earnings reports, because I just want to get that out of the way. Plus, the contracts could also be a little bit pricier right now, for all we know, due to pricing in the next move. So it's just not fun. I'm finally caught up to the live UOB. He catches up, and I went AFK. I'm finally caught up to the live UOB. Entered a long single play on meta. I also got all the tests in the BB boot camp this morning and scored well, but I misread some, and also for some reason my fibs are flipped. I had to chart them from low to high when there's an impulse move from high to low, and vice versa. So I got those questions wrong. Oh, he's talking about the quizzes. You are so real for taking those. Well, shit, ALST, sorry. Al? Are you still here, Al? I kind of went AFK when he asked all that, or said all that. If you're looking for a wife, I have a rich sister who's single. This is either a setup or a setup. Shit, tell I could buy her stuff. Dividend. Yes, sir, I'm here. Grab some food real quick. Good, good, good. Sorry I went AFK right as you were posting all that. But congratulations, though. I'm proud of you. Thank you for actually going through that stuff. I know I try to always, like, I try not to get onto people's ass too much about this stuff, but everybody, if I could get your attention for just 5 moments, maybe 4 moments. If you go to the Discord, and you go to the bottom of the Discord, there's an entire section called the educational section. I know it's boring, blah, blah, blah. But there's some old stuff in here. And all of this old stuff, like, honestly, and I'll even give you my personal recommendations. I would say this is definitely the channel to go look at, because this is like the template of everything we do here. You know, a lot of people always ask me the most basic questions, and they always feel bad. If you don't want to feel bad, read this channel. This is the channel that'll get to you. And if you want to ask questions after that, I will have no problem. I have no, you know, I have nothing against you. Like, I'm happy to go at this with you, because now I see you are willing to look at this stuff. You do want to look at it how I look at it, right? But if you go through this stuff, then we can be on the same page, and then I can, you know, understand that. The flashcards, the quizzes, the workshop classes, just everything. Like, there's just so much in here that's like untouched. And then also at the same time, on top of all that, you know, I know it's a lot. I'm not trying to act like it's so little. No, it's a lot. It's a little overwhelming. Is also the pinned messages. Maybe not in this channel, but in so many channels, there's pinned messages too, where maybe someone thought that would be amazing advice, or maybe thought that we posted something really good and we want people to remember it. You know, that's a place to go look at. So don't just look at the channels and all that stuff, but go through the information. Make sure you clear some of those pinned messages too. There might be some hints that people have given over time, for all I know. I don't remember them all. There's so many. But I'm just saying, there is a lot of awesome old content that still applies to how we look at the system today. So if you ever feel like you need a good review, please take your time. Also, this is kind of like a lazy view of the zones. I just wanted to have nothing on my chart, and then I thought this zone was too big, so I threw a halfway point, and that was it. This is just a lazy way for me to look at the daily. I just want to look at it. Mainly focused on the candles and how they're placed. And we can see there's a lot of indecision around here. It's just selling, a little bit of buying, a little bit of buying, a little bit of buying, a little bit of selling. Just very indecisive past few days. And it makes sense as we're leading into some of the most important market weights earnings. IWM, how you looking? If she'll ever load. Okay. I mean, pretty ugly here, but it actually ended up holding a higher low. Finally, some sellers are stepping in today. Probably market reaction. See you later, React. Thank you for all the posts and stuff, man. Appreciate that. React is a good role model in chat. Be like React. Maybe don't trade like React, but be like React. Previous day closed broke. Great information in there. Always there on my off days or when I get a break. Dang, what's up, David Q? Always good to see you, man. I was just saying earlier how we have so many Davids in here, and another David pops up. Might be one of the most important Davids for all we know. We still inside of the 1025 bar on SPY? Isn't that lovely, Doctor? Isn't that lovely how we're just still stuck there? Screams internally. I love trading. Screams internally. Like, this is a chart I really want to take, but I can't take because of the market. This is a setup that was that went from multiple times bearish, I should say, not just once, but multiple times bearish, and has short-term flipped to holding these fibs. So it gives it that, like, just hair of probability that it probably will go up to 385, 387.30, a little bit more so than it breaking 373.80 to the downside. But after today's candle, that vibe has completely been altered. I would say it's definitely 50-50 now, whereas yesterday's candle gave us that indication of like, alright, it's got a really good chance here. So, unless they're giving us this just fake hold to the right, that should break 373.80 and stop any kind of idea out there. We weren't in this, we were following it from the other day. Can't trade every chart, so we like to get some good mental reps in too, just to get some good visual examples, just to kind of give ourselves that extra confidence without really risking any of our money, because who doesn't like doing that? I like to test shit out. I like to be creative. It's fun. The dollar finally putting in multiple red candles, but still no real downside. Daffy's probably already posted this multiple times. I've gone over this multiple times. But if we get a crackdown of 103.88, it should see some more downside. I say should because it's not 100%. You know, if it breaks that level, it could just as well retake it, pull back up. So, just throwing that out there. But 103.88, very close for that chart. Or I'm sorry, 103. Oh yeah, it is 103.88. What's going on? Always awesome to catch a live stream. Appreciate that. Yeah, I like seeing you guys pop in here. I know you guys, some of you guys get busy and everybody just has life, of course. But it's nice seeing you guys join in here, even if it's just for a few moments. Appreciate the likes, everybody. We did break 30 likes. Y'all were kind of crazy today. Not just kind of crazy. Y'all are crazy. I'm going to stop with the bullshit. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are full on crazy. Some of you need God. Some of you need straight jackets. Some of you need both. I'm just kidding, of course. I hope none of you are actually crazy. In the wrong ways. It's a good crazy. Some of us need to re-up the account. Their account. Tobias said he's topping up everybody's account. Shout out to Tobias. Let's go. What's up with you making cash in here? Somebody said you were making the bag in here. Where am I looking to see this baggage? Did you make more baggage? Or is he talking about your earlier baggage? Carter, are you saying this is going to continue going up, or are you saying this is where the sound stops? This is when the music stops on your IWM post. Oh, thank you, Dividend. I appreciate that. Because you know Toby, he's going to take 6 years to answer me. So I appreciate that. At 231. Oh, that is a nice dip. I see. I see what you meant at the time. I see. See if we get that continuation. I'm sure he's betting on it going into the low here. Tobias is laughing now. Not a stupid trade, that's for sure. And that's all that matters, as long as we're not taking stupid trades. Make it simple, stupid. Or keep it simple, stupid. I'm messing up our own sayings. Daffy, of course, has been reinforcing that message pretty heavily. If you guys have been catching some of his posts or streams in the Discord, shout out to Daffy if you guys have been catching some of that. He also did a pretty long weekend, or that was Friday night. Last Friday we did a pretty long stream at night. I was thinking weekend because it kind of led into Saturday almost. But he's been putting in that work. Shout out to D-Touch. He's still been putting in that work even on a light trading week. Still applying important information. Trying to help remind all of us, hey, don't be so horny to trade 60, 100 times this week, please. So we appreciate him being the fatherly figure in the group chat. Shout out to Eric, keeping the daily updates still popping off each and every day. If you guys check the daily updates channel, shout out to Eric. He does that on his own accord. Shout out to him. And also on his own accord, shout out to Carter, also known as Prop Street in the chat. Always posting the IWM levels. He doesn't care if he's sick. He doesn't care if the market is crap. He doesn't care if he's just been shot in the foot. This man will still have small caps posted for us every single night or in the morning. So shout out to all those people. Shout out to their families in which I hold hostage if they don't continue posting in the chat. Just kidding, YouTube. All in a video game. I forgot this happened. I keep like forgetting AMD's demise happened overnight. I genuinely forgot. Because I see Nvidia and I'm like, oh, semis are doing alright today. Completely forgot. Funny too, because they rejected a pretty obvious level, but they haven't broken this area. And this is kind of what it did last time. It just kind of fell here, didn't break. But we have seen what it can do if it does break. Pretty large move fell down to that zone. Pretty large move fell down to that zone. When it failed to break that area, it actually went back up. So pretty decisive break of this area needs to happen for us to be confident in the continuation to 139.20s. 140. We'll just say 140. Shout out to Green Candlestick. Sinful's best Fortnite teammate. By far. If you don't count me, of course. But I don't count. Mike said, shout out to Bueller for giving us good old boys somewhere to eat Shipley's. Dude, Shipley's is so good. God. There isn't a single thing wrong with Shipley's. You know what? There is some good in this world. Shipley's? You know, like in the Bible, when they talk about like the place you go to after, it's kind of like that. What do they call that place again? Heaven? It's kind of like that. You know, like in Narnia, when they go in the wardrobe and they find that extra world and there's like all this crazy shit in it? It's like that. That's what Shipley's is. It's a donut shop, but they're kolaches and they're donuts and just honestly everything. Like I said, it's perfect. There's nothing wrong. They could have a shootout in front of the Shipley's and I would still go in. Here we go. Let's just glaze the glaze real quick. Let the glazing continue. Like when you see your homie pulling up with this in his hand, you know you're about to get it down. You know you know that's a real friend you got. When he pulls up with one of these boxes, maybe not with these in it, but when you see that box pull up like this, or a bag full of kolaches, Better than Krispy Kreme? Well, I don't know. The only thing I had at Krispy Kreme was a glazed donut. That's literally the only thing I had. So it's kind of unfair for me to be like, yeah, it's got better frosted donuts than Krispy Kreme when that's all they do. It's different. It's a different taste. I'm not gonna say one's better than the other. Shipley's is way more diverse though. Like there's a lot to love at Shipley's. That's all I'm saying. There's a lot to love. But I did like Krispy Kreme. I'm not gonna lie, Krispy Kreme is pretty good. I remember a long time ago, the only one that was close to us was like 40 minutes away. So when we had to drive, we had to wait till after school, and then we'd drive there, and like me and a friend would go, and it'd be like 40 minutes away, and we'd drive there, get all the way there, and we'd get like a dozen of them, because you know we're driving 40 minutes for some damn donuts in the afternoon. So it was worth. It was worth. And for the longest time, that was also where the only Cane's existed. So you had to go pretty far to get Cane's or Krispy Kreme. But then they built a Cane's a lot closer, so that gave me one less reason to travel so far. Yeah, Krispy Kreme, man, pretty nice. Nah, but Shipley's though, heaven. I would never call Krispy Kreme heaven, so maybe I do think Shipley's is better. What is y'all's favorite, I don't want to say restaurant, I want to say, like breakfast place to go to, like if you had to. I know some of them are all pretty like, like none of them are amazing, but if you had to go to a breakfast place, where are you going? High key, if anybody says just random hole-in-the-wall kolache place ran by an Asian family, that's also a 10 out of 10. That is also another gate to heaven. I don't know why, but those places always have the literal greatest kolaches, everything. And they open at like 4 a.m. Local diner? Those local diners slap. And we did hit that low. Good shit, Tobias. In the last 4 minutes of the day, at exactly 4:20 seconds left, we hit that low. Kolaches, yeah. Oof. That's a weak spot for me. I love kolaches. One of the many doorways to my heart is through a kolache. Restaurant calls wood chips best burger. For breakfast, you would go eat a burger? He said yes. Okay, fair enough. His answer remains valid. Damn, that must be a good ass burger. I gotta try that shit out. Good stuff, Tobias. How many percentages did you make? How many percentiles? Tobias calculating this. I didn't know you said breakfast, but I'm standing on it. No. Fair enough. Die on that hill. It's always burger o'clock in this house. Defend that hill. Oh, yo, where's Carter at? Is Carter in here? Or did he leave? Damn, I was gonna tell him I saw a really cool scene in turn. Oh, he's here! Let's just say I saw a surprise attack. The closest Shipley's is 8 hours away in Maryland. Worth. Someone cash app him right now. It's worth. I'd travel 16 hours for it. I'd travel night and day with just one leg for it. Oh yeah, Carter, I guess that doesn't help. Because it's not the first surprise attack I've seen. Let's just say Washington is a part of this one. I had to take a 30 loss on the P810 tough and re-roll to 15. Ah, you suck. Oh wait, your other one went 0.5 to 2-1 though. That's crazy. What? And we know Tobias. He ain't just grabbing one contract. We know our Tobias, don't we? Tobias did not just have one contract. Just two, my ass. You couldn't get me to believe that. Shipley's over Duncan any day. Oh, 100%. Yeah, Duncan's weak. Duncan's got a few cool things about them, but let's be honest, they're weak. Nah, Shipley's been the king. But like I said too, though, if anybody says random hole in the wall, you know, like Kalachi place, like I also can't argue that either, because those places like just randomly hit really hard. Like for a breakfast joint. Last 10 seconds of the day, guys. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Honestly, be honest, everybody. Raise your hands, throw an emote in chat, emoji, say I for all I care. Who still has the sound notification for when the market closes on their whatever charting program they're using? How many of you still have the sound notification on? Be honest. Be honest. How many real psychos we got in here? Raise your hands. I knew Leland was top of that list. Green said it. I do need to hear them bells, man. That's an option. Damn, I'm the minority? No way. I'm in the minority on this. Wow. I'll shut up then. Here I was thinking I had a popular opinion. That's actually kind of funny. Oh, and here's Leland. Casual 460%. And he replies to the message that says, if you hold end of day, you're psychotic. Spelled it. No, you are nuts though, Leland. You are actually a psycho. And has Why can't I spell today? What is going on? Yeah, I'm the loser apparently. I have the sound off. Does Weeble have that feature? I have no idea. I'll Google it with you. You were the loser that turns the sound off. Central says I don't have desktop apps. He said I'm above all of you. I have the ding 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 on TOS. Yeah, you're crazy. But apparently I'm the crazy one. I thought everybody would be annoyed of hearing it and find how to turn it off. Here, let's see. Can you turn Weeble sounds off? It says you can, but this of course didn't give me a breakdown. Go to the menu, then settings, message settings, update, and then toggle push note. That's a lot of settings to go through to turn one thing off. Jesus. Yeah, do you have the internet on your phone? I removed the controller rumble packs. The only thing giving me the shakes is alcoholism. You just have it muted? Oh, that's fair too. Yeah, you could also just go to your desktop, go to your sound settings or whatever, click volume mixer, and you could just mute whatever charting app you have. I guess that would work too. You could physically turn it off in the settings on TOS. That's funny though. Everybody else was like totally cool with it. All right, let's see what kind of movement we got with the big boys. Whoa, wrong thing. What am I going to? Whoa. All right, we're gonna go to this. We're gonna do Microsoft, and then what was the other one? Meta. Who gives a shit about Starbucks, right? I'll switch between them. I think we can all assume Starbucks is either going down or going nowhere, though. There's no way it's going up more. I feel like that's the logical path for that chart. Then again, what does logic have to do with earnings movement? God, it's so hard to look at these charts. Oh God, it's about to get crazy for Microsoft. Alright, well, we got both the earnings popped up. And then also, I could do this. I want to refix the SPY levels while we wait for those to move. Yep. Leland taught me all these tricks. Shout out to Leland. Just gonna add a couple days to it. I don't have to add any more levels. I think I'm just gonna add today's halfway point. What is going on? Today's low to today's high, right? That's today's high? Yep. Oh, and it's so close to a level I might as well not even add it, but let's just do it anyway. That's today's high supply. I don't really see the point adding today's demand because there really isn't one, but the low to the close is already around a level we have. It's pretty close to relevant higher low and the beginning of that low, so I'm just going to leave it there, and that's probably what our chart will look like going into tomorrow. Today's open is pretty much where this is, so I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, pretty crazy day. A lot of movement. Started off a little scary. Big spike back up. Pretty good return by the bulls, and then pretty decisive return by the bears, just to keep us at the low of day. But that'll be our levels for tomorrow. Let me post these real quick. I like to post them as soon as I can because I hate when people are like, I don't know what we're supposed to be looking at, and so I like to give them as much time as I can with the spy levels at least, to at least be aware of what we're looking for. Spy levels for Halloween. Damn, it's Halloween tomorrow. Alright, Microsoft and Meta are the focus after hours. Roku, of course, is dying, is what I heard from Simple. Yeah, it did a little bit. And then Starbucks is also posting, but they are dropping a little bit too. Oops. These are the only earnings left. And then tomorrow is the last really big barrier day, I'd say, for major sectors. You have, of course, Apple and Amazon. And then Friday, the reason I don't say it's a major sector is because it really isn't. But the top 2 energy weights, that is pretty much all of energy sector, are reporting Friday. So if anybody who watches energy, that will be happening Friday. Exxon and Chevron. I think those are before open. I don't think they're allowed to do after on Fridays. Dan, this chart has all my labels on it still. This one has the daily average volume and then today's volume. And then it shows the percentage of that volume. That's like a lazy way to look at volume without actually checking it. Perfect for me. I might have to add that back to my intradays. Meta falling pretty hard. Microsoft's kind of all over the place. They're probably both just waiting to actually report earnings. Oh, they did actually report, Microsoft. And so did Meta. So they're probably just waiting on forward guidance now. Sorry, this chart's probably insanely impossible to look at. There, that's a little easier. A little hard to look at it with all those levels. Sinful promoting the betting you can do on Robinhood with Trump and Kamala. Man, that's kind of wild. What is life when you can bet on the next presidential election on a pretty popular brokerage app? Can't even sit here and hate on Robinhood. They're beyond the word popular. Gonna be able to sports bet on Robinhood with settled cash in 2025. How does that work in states though that you're not supposed to gamble in? Like if I'm in Texas, how am I supposed to sports bet on Robinhood? Do they just did they somehow bypass that? Did they circumvent that? Do I still have to do it illegally through sites? I mean, I don't do that. What? That's so wrong. That's so wrong, dude. Oh, trolling. Damn, that'd be such a sick addition, though. They should try to tackle that. They should try to buy out somebody. Buy out somebody, get sports betting, and then get it legal in all states, and then bam, bro, Robinhood is a bajillion dollar company. I can't even speak because they're so rich in the future. I don't speak rich. A little bit of weakness by both Meta and Microsoft in their post hours. I'm just trolling you, by the way, Tobias. Yeah, Texas needs to go with the program. You ain't lying. Twilio, yo, thank you for saying that, Mike. I forgot about that one. Yo, Twilio's up. Hell yeah, something's going up. While Microsoft continues to bleed. So does Meta. This one has a chance of settling, but if this one keeps acting like it is now, I could see it holding these lows. This has a chance of not having to dump as much, but we'll see. I think it'd just be a good reaction by the market if we just got no movement, but we'll see what their definition of good is. Ew, Reality Labs, they actually said their name. No shit, you expect them to increase year over year. A blind person could tell you that. Oh man. There is one thing with Meta I will continue to hate on. The metaverse. The metaverse is the dumbest invention ever. I think it's a smart invention, you know, maybe 100+ years from now when we actually have things to be able to like be compatible with that kind of idea. Sure. But we're just not there. Meta shitting to bed. Not as much as it could be, but it is going down. The close was 591. We're currently trading at 572. Close of Microsoft was 432.50. They're currently trading at 438 just about. So they're actually up a little bit despite some of the weakness. They are in between two zones, though, as you can see from my bigger time frame charting on Microsoft. I have no charting on Meta here. I'm just honestly watching candles here. But just really wanted to see how far it can go. This is a good sign from Microsoft that tech's trying to hold, but this is crazy from comms. So we'll have to see what this does tomorrow to the market. Is it just like a sideways effect because one's doing one, one's doing the other? We'll have to see. Yeah, like I was impressed honestly with how much Meta's recovered. I'm not hating on their overall company. I think that idea in particular that they invested a pretty large amount of money and ideas into in time, just for it to be that bad of an idea. Sinful said, "I'm married in the metaverse. Don't tell my wife." I don't know. I was a hater from the beginning on that idea. I'm not just now bringing that to light. I'm just saying that whole metaverse shit was stupid. But they recovered insane. You got to give them credit. With how bad of an idea that was and how much money and time and resources went into that, how well they recovered on their stock, on their chart, that's crazy. Yeah, they pivoted like crazy. They did pivot to AI like crazy. They're like, wait, we need to use this for something else. Hurry, hurry, hurry. But just the operate, like they even said it themselves. Like, it's just gonna keep losing money year over year. Even with them shifting, they're still losing money on their idea. Yeah, no, Zuck's a beast. I'm never gonna hate on Zuck like that. He's a beast. Not just because he supports UFC and could probably whoop any one of our asses. But yeah, I don't know. He just looks like someone who just wants to do shit. It just seemed like he got caught trying to do a cool idea a little too early. But I don't know. You can't hate the ambition, though. You can't hate the ambition. We can hate the idea, but don't hate the ambition. And Microsoft actually holding up pretty well now. They get more candles like that, that'll be really good. Tesla is still in the golden pocket from gap up to high of day. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you guys for 35 likes. We had almost 200 clicks on today's stream. Love you all. Tough love around here. 24-hour stream. Yeah. I'm only doing that if you're in there the whole time, Sinful. You have to be there the whole time. I need you on the soundboard. I need you on the jokes. I need you to... I need your A game on it, is what I'm saying. But guys, later, thank you guys again for the stream. Appreciate it. Be sure to check out some of the recent content. If you guys need to check out some of the playlists or any of the videos that are on topics you're worried about within the system, please check them out on the channel. I've made most topics available now for everybody. So please check them out. I would definitely, really, I guess what I'm aiming at personally is please check out the retest video. I love that video. It's the seminar I did, but there's a breakdown, I think, where you could just watch just the video part of it. You don't have to watch the whole thing. But yeah, see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow, hopefully. But tomorrow's Apple and Amazon, guys, so please don't overtrade tomorrow. We just had Microsoft and Meta report. We're about to have Apple and Amazon report. Please don't be that guy that feels sorry for themselves because they jumped into trades they knew they shouldn't be in. I will see you all later. Love you all. Have a great rest of your day, and see ya.